Welcome, everybody, to episode 1. We're here with arms wide open. We're just going to rip off Pat McAfee for about a half hour. Don't mind us.
Dude. This show's so gold.
We're episode 132 of Fat Guys on a Little Podcast. This is Steven, and I'm always joined by
Charles.
And, of course, via satellite, BMFV. How you doing, Bill?
A lot better now. We're going to talk about Pat McAfee. So I think we're doing this. I think we should dedicate this one to the brand.
Yeah, that's right. Don't adjust your screens either. I am rocking the porn stash. Look very pale white.
Yeah, he's super pasty. Dude.
I've been
you
called.
Gotta see the video when I posted to YouTube.
I've been called a pedophile. I've been called Fat Hitler.
You're
Dude, that
channeling your inner
chin.
Rod Farva.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
He called you Farva from Broken Lizard.
Oh, yeah. You think you spit in this burger?
I don't know, man. You get a liter of cola. It makes that double chin look very pronounced. Got the double kicking.
Oh, yeah. So I will grow the goatee back and never do this again.
What prompted it? Did you screw up your shaving? You screwed it up, didn't you?
No, I didn't screw up shaving. Well, you want a disgusting story? Let's share it for the whole nation here.
Oh, okay.
I'm sitting at work, and I've been my whole life I've been battling dandruff, as we all know. Well, come to find out, I had
Do you condition your hair?
Yes.
You condition and you have dandruff?
Yes. That doesn't work. I got super severe dry skin from Dad.
What the fuck?
Another gift from Dad. I got the cute
Yeah, wow.
Do you use hair product?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So you use Rogaine.
Well, I will tell you, at work, I was wearing a gray dress shirt, and I scratched my chin, and I had beard rough poured out. So I shaved it off so I could lotion up my chin for a couple weeks, and then let it grow back.
Maybe that's it. Maybe you need like beard oil or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to look into
that thing.
But
because I get a problem with product sticking, and so what the chick that cuts my hair told me to do is periodically to use what's called a clarifying shampoo. And it's helpful.
Vivi goes to the salon. Okay, did Jean-Paul Gaultier tell you this?
I go to a lady's house and she does it.
You go to a lady's house in
COVID.
You don't run Oklahoma drills at a lady's house.
No, I haven't. I haven't been doing it during COVID.
Oh.
I don't know, man. I don't know about going to someone's basement to get your hair cut. That's a little sketchy, Vivi. I don't know.
So what the product I've been using now, it actually helped a little bit. I have leave-in conditioner, it's called. So you take a shower, shampoo your hair, and you use the conditioner kind of like hair gel, and it stays in my hair. It's from Fructose, smells very fruity, and it's been
moist. You mean? Yeah, Garnier
Fructose. Garnier Fructose
did that,
and
oh wow.
It actually moisturizes my scalp and hair.
And it sounds gross, but are you like washing your hair every day? Maybe you should skip to like an every other day thing too. You're drying your head out. Maybe that's what the other thing.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Yeah, just kind of utilize because like you're worried about it getting oily, but like you're making it so dry you're flaking off in chunks.
Yeah, man.
Get Palomalu or Bolamalu, whatever his name is, out of the sea gap to come to you.
You got Palamalu.
Lying to me about my rough. So, anyways, this week was a big week, right?
Huge week.
A huge week.
For the country.
Nothing went down. That was kind of boring. I was hoping for some bombs and explosions, but nothing happened.
I don't know. I wonder if they're waiting until like everything calms down. I wonder where all of the good boys or whatever they were. It seemed a little quiet.
Yeah, there was too many National Guardsmen, so
maybe they're
maybe they're just done. They're like, oh, we did our thing. We got 3 weeks of coverage on it. Let's just.
Did you see the news today? Heather hit me up. Did you see that Trump in the Oval Office had a button to hit that a butler brought him a Diet Coke? There was a Diet Coke button.
I did not know
in the Oval Office. Every time he hit it, some G's would come in and give him a Diet Coke every time.
I want a Diet Coke button now.
Yeah, wow. I was like, that's unbelievable. Yeah, because
now is that better than Matt Lauer's button that would shut the door so he could rape bitches?
That's a rape button. That's a totally different.
So Diet Coke button or rape button? Which one do you go with?
Totally different situation there. But yeah, I don't know, man. I was like, because Heather told me that Biden had to have the Diet Coke button. I go, what? Like, someone made a meme where like Biden put a freestyle machine in. Whatever. I was like, that's awesome.
Well, another funny thing I did hear about Biden is he has a Peloton bike.
Yeah.
Those have Wi-Fi in it. They won't let him bring it in the White House because it's a security risk.
Oh, wow.
So they're trying to work around that. I heard there was talk about that on the radio.
Wow.
That's
a vulnerability to the system.
So that's his choice of exercise is the Peloton. And
God, Peloton's got to be loving that pub, dude.
yeah, I know.
But
The
then again,
president has one.
but then again, it's probably like questioning their security protocols. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah.
So that now the only question I have for you guys is: did you happen to catch the highlights of the medieval Bible they made Biden's wife hold
From the 14th century.
What Harry Potter library did they get that Bible? I was like, poor girl was breaking out a sweat on that thing. I was like, that is the most ridiculous Bible I've ever
Dude,
seen.
I don't know.
They couldn't find like one of those small hotel Bibles and just have her hold
The
that.
King Arthur Bible they broke out, but it was swearing by. And apparently, again, my wife's all on this stuff. She tipped me off that was the Bible that he swore in initially back in the day and all this kind of stuff. Because you know, like the whole story, right? So, like
Merlin wrote that Bible.
His first wife and his daughter, am I right, BB, died in a car accident or whatever?
Yeah, and then his
He
son
got
Biden
sworn in, like in the hospital and stuff like that, with that medieval Bible. So I think it's all.
They got like a whole crew that just bring in the Bible.
Oh my
Wheeling
God,
it back.
yeah.
That was the most crazy thing.
King James didn't actually swear him in.
Oh man! And then I know Steve already touched on it earlier in text. The Bernie Sanders stuff is as good as McAfee Gold.
That's up there with the Nate Robinson memes.
It's
Good chance.
unbelievable, man.
Check out the Bernie Sanders
Holy
memes.
cow! What was in the envelope? He's carrying like his taxes with him. I'm like, what? Like you knew you were going to the inauguration. Like, what do you got?
His wife gave him a grocery list before he left
And
the house.
I've seen him in person when he was running, when he was at the hotel. He's got handlers, so like you couldn't hand the taxes off to the handler. I don't
That was a grocery
understand.
list I have, you know. He has to go
Really
pick up
weird look, man. I don't
giant
know.
mittens.
He just doesn't care, and I
Sitting there all
love him
pissed
for
off.
it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super good.
So, there's one last gift from our former president. He, of course, and he's not alone. All the presidents have done this. Pardoned quite a few people before he left. And one here that affects the state of Michigan the most is he pardoned, or they don't call it a pardon. They call it a commute or something along that line.
He commuted his sentence.
Commuted has said Kwame Kilpatrick is out of jail. He will not serve his original 28 years, I think it was. So he only had to serve 13 total, I think, or something like that. And he is no longer in prison. And I'll be honest, when he got put in jail, he owed the city millions of dollars. It made no sense to me. I was like, why don't they make him work and garnish the shit out of his
take
wage?
it from him. Yeah,
I
that's a good
mean,
point.
how are you ever gonna get your money back if he's sitting in prison?
Yeah, but I mean, at some point you gotta hold these people accountable.
Yeah,
he took advantage of an already destitute city in Detroit and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
so he needed some kind of like more than a slap on the wrist, I would argue. But yeah, it's a weird situation. But it was weird to see that he was even on Trump's radar. And again, I put in the show notes. No Joe Exotic. So the Tiger King wasn't on Trump's radar, but Kwame was? It's really weird. I don't know.
And they also say, I've heard the rumor that Joe Exotic actually hired a limo to sit out in front of the prison.
Oh, wow.
And then when it didn't come, he was like, oh.
The picture I found was a bus that was like, asking Trump to pardon Joe Exotic.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So he doesn't get out of the thing about Kwame, though. So with the commutation, pardon would completely forgive you from it, but a commutation either just ends the sentence where it is or it reduces it from what it would be. It doesn't forgive the entire crime. So my guess is if he has things like, he has to have some kind of restitution requirement. I would guess he probably still has to meet that.
He's
later
on the hook financially is what you're saying?
So it's not like a pardon where it's basically as if you were never really even convicted anymore. You're just completely forgiven for the crime.
But again, if you didn't put him in prison in the first place, you could have got money from him for the past 10 to 13
To your point,
years.
you could have kept him working.
Yeah,
is what
just
you're
stay
saying.
working, hand your checks over.
I don't know. He took advantage of a very bad city.
Yeah.
So.
So Kwame's out. Joe Exotic is not. So there was a couple of Lil Wayne. There was a few rappers that got released. It was a random thing. They didn't pardon his family or Rudy Giuliani. I guess they could have done that or prevented any of them from getting
It
in
also
trouble.
is weird. It came out now. He left Biden a note apparently. So at least he somewhat was trying to be a grown adult instead of flipping over the Monopoly board.
So there we go.
That's it.
What'd
What's
you say,
that
Bill?
mean?
I can only imagine what was in that note.
I don't know. Yeah.
So now we all just sit back and wait for Uncle Joe to send us some money.
Yeah.
Get working on that there, Uncle Joe. Now, of course, before now we're going to move away from politics a little bit, and let's go back into what everyone wants to hear about, some football.
Yeah.
A lot of coaching. Who put this on here? You
I
were-
did. Yeah, I wanted to talk about it.
Are we missing one? I feel like there were 7 positions.
I don't think the Texans haven't picked one yet. So
Now, rumor
right.
is the Texans want Jim Caldwell,
okay,
and they may want to ship their
Deshaun
quarterback
Watson?
out of town.
allegedly to New York. That's
Well, I've heard New York. I've heard Miami.
Washington is the other one. I've heard.
Washington. I know Miami. They would get Bill's boy David Tua, or not David Tua. Tua Tagovailoa. I always call him David Tua.
David
They would
Tua.
get him and all of Miami's picks essentially, and they would ship Watson over there. I don't know how true that is, but first,
Yeah, I figured we could kind of go through. The reason why I put it on here is I figured we could go through and rank them kind of like 1 to 10 or something like that. Like as far as, 1 being like, what's the point? You just filled the position. 10 being like, okay, you're making moves and you're trying to make things happen. So that's kind of what I figured we could kind of go around the room and kind of rank them a little bit. Now, one of these is an expected hire. I put on there that it was an expected, and then, like you said, the Texans one hasn't been nailed down. It's still kind of floating names, so I figured we would just kind of talk about it.
So first up, the Jacksonville Jaguars backed up the money train to Urban Meyer, and surprisingly, Urban Meyer took it. So he'll be the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars with the number 1 overall pick and $100 million salary salary
a lot of
space.
room and
So
everything.
he could really tweak that team whichever way he wants. I assume they have a GM too, but I don't know if he has.
I haven't heard nothing with that. But
The Jets took what everybody in Detroit wanted, Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator from the 49ers.
he was the hottest commodity, I think, out of all of them.
Yeah, and he was somehow he's tied to the city of Dearborn. Not sure how.
He was born or something like that, yeah.
Falcons took one of the most meh picks I've ever
I was
seen.
going to say.
Arthur Smith. He looks like another Bob Maxwell. I don't know who that is. The LA Chargers take Brandon Staley, Rams defense coordinator. Rams defense was pretty solid this year. Detroit Lions hit.
Take Motor City Dan Camp.
Take Motor City Dan Camp. Up until Pat McAfee went crazy on this guy, I could care less. But now Pat McAfee made this guy entertaining.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Philadelphia Eagles are expected. I didn't even hear about this. Nick, how do you say his last name?
Sirianni.
Sirianni, the Colts offensive coordinator. But a lot of people would say the Colts offense was good because of Frank Reich, not because of this guy. But, well, someone's got to call the plays. So what is everyone's thoughts on those?
So, BV, give me a 1 to 5 on the Herb hire in Jacksonville. What are you thinking?
Is 1 low or high?
1 to 10. Yeah, we'll go 1 to 10. Yeah, we always go on a scale of 1 to 10 in this show.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
okay.
1 shit, 10's really on point.
So before I answer this, I need to, for the interest of full disclosure, I do and
Did
always
he call you
have-
for a
always
job?
will
Wait.
have a hatred for Urban
okay.
Meyer. Can't stand the guy. I think he's a total douche. I think he's the fakest piece of crap in football.
Jesus.
Can't stand him. That being
How do you
said,
really feel?
I look at this. I give this like a 3.
Oh, wow.
Well, here's the thing. I mean,
Out of 10?
yeah. What I'm going to
Seems
point back to
a bit extreme.
is my example for this. Is that I'm going to point back to when the Washington Reds, at the time Redskins,
Took Steve
were
Spurrier.
such geniuses because they hired Steve Spurrier. Here's the thing: college football, these innovative college football, offensive systems, only work the way they do because those teams in college get superior talent year after year after year after year. So yeah, at Florida or at Ohio State, when 9 out of 12 opponents couldn't beat their third string, he looks like a genius. But what does the Jaguars? If you look at their personnel, they're not set up to run his system. I'm real curious to see whether he'll adjust his system to fit the personnel or
But
not.
I was going to tell you, like the difference is you want him to adjust his system, but Steve already touched on it. He's got so much room to move and so much ability to put into it. What I would say is like all the other coaches in the past, like when Saban did his run, when Spurrier did his run, he's got the most he's got the most blank slate, if you will, out of
compared to the rest of
anyone.
them.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm trying to say.
And how successful has it been for coaches historically that have NFL experience that are going to take on both being the coach and being the GM?
Is he being?
I'm sure he's a great personnel guy in the NFL. I'm sticking with the 3. and I'd be shocked if he's there longer than 3
VV
years.
State, wow. I'm way higher on just because of the situation. I think it's a splashy name. He's been successful everywhere he's gone.
Steve Spurrier had dog shit at quarterback when he came to the NFL.
I mean,
this guy's about to get Trevor Lawrence. It's a little different.
And he's smart enough to go, okay, I got to surround, from what I've
Spurrier have
heard.
Danny Warfel? Did he dig up Danny Warfel? I forget. He had some terrible. He had some shitbag fucking washed up Florida quarterback.
He's not going. But he's not going to have top talent either.
Who isn't?
We're making a big assumption that Trevor Lawrence is going to be an all-pro NFL quarterback.
All signs point to. I mean, if everyone in the NFL right now, I'm not saying I'm saying that I'm a true talent, but all signs, I would argue that all the GMs in the NFL are like, holy crap, get Trevor Lawrence if you can. So, I mean, I
understand that, but top quarterback picks are at best a 50-50 bet.
I think it's a little.
They don't all work out.
Especially the ones from Alabama.
Ooh, man, dig.
Most of the Alabama quarterbacks aren't picked at the top of the draft either. But hey, that's
Tua Tagovailoa was.
Thanks for the shot.
I'm gonna give.
what?
Tua Tagovailoa.
Well,
David Tua was.
Had 1 year. Meyer had a whole career.
Jalen Hurts.
So we know how his career ended. Anyway,
so to get the trolls and wrangle you guys in for a minute, I'm going to give him a 7 just because he's been successful everywhere he's gone. He has the option to put in a lot, and he's also I've heard again. He's looking to get coordinators with that NFL lineage, which I think is a smart move by his standpoint. The only thing I question is his health. He's had health issues everywhere he's gone and all that.
Has he?
Well, I don't know.
Or he just wants out.
He's not going to win, and suddenly he has a heart problem.
I don't know. I give him a 7.
Oh, heart.
I like
Steve,
7
as
as well. You're missing a very key thing about him. He knows how to cheat. So he's going to start cheating immediately. Also, he has no moral code, so he'll hire convicts, gang members. He don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's Gary Hernandez, how that works
He's
out.
going to have the hippie at his quarterback. Jacksonville has a couple receivers. I don't know what they have on defense left, so he's going to have to go with a lot of defense. And then people are going to sign with him because, hey, bro, we're getting hookers. We can cheat. We can do whatever we want. We're in Jacksonville. Much bitches. It's an open state. You don't got to wear a mask. Nobody cares.
I think 3 is BV trolling his inner hatred.
It's a little bit of hatred.
Hold on, that may be the case, but I'm also willing to just as an open thing to both of you here. No, yeah, it may be trolling, but at the same time, I'll show you how strongly I believe in this, right? Because if he's got that set up for success, then how about this? I will bet either of you or both of you $100 each that Urban Meyer doesn't win 20 games in 3 years.
I'll take that. 20 games in 3 years.
His first 3 years.
I'll have to take that bet. Yeah, put me on 100 for that. 20 games, 3 years. Write that down. Episode 132. Me and BB, $100.
So,
you on that?
19
Steve?
or less, I win. 20 or more.
Oh man, I'll take that.
All right, Charles, we'll put it on the board.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Write that shit down.
He wins more than 20. I do.
Yeah, I do.
All right. Even if he just goes 8-8, that's 16. He's got to win 4 in his first year.
It's not a huge ask.
4 or 5 in the first season.
He's a good coach.
He'll
I think that there's
finish at 18 or less. 5 or 6 a year.
The only thing that would make this better if Urban Meyer signed with the Tennessee Volunteers, they're whooping Alabama's ass. That was the only thing that would make this better. I wish he would.
So let's pivot away from BV's hatred for a moment. Let me throw this to Steve.
Gus Bell.
Let's have
Gus Bell's going to be on Urban Meyer's
hot seat. Let's throw this one to Steve to start. So the Jets got Robert Saleh, the big hire. The defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. Everyone's short list for head coach.
Yeah.
What is Steve's opinion on the Jets of all things getting?
There's a couple teams where players and coaches go to die for their career. Jets are one.
It's a
Lions
hard
are
market,
the other.
Too. They got a short leash in that market.
I don't believe in Sam Darnold at all. I've seen that Darnold, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm butchering names today. I've watched him play live, and he was terrible. I don't like that guy. He had one good game on a Monday night game against, ironically, the Lions. So I think his quarterback's terrible. He has nothing of a team. I don't know what their cap space is or anything. I think he's probably a good coach. The Niners defense was pretty solid last year when they were healthy. There were moments of it this year when they had some players not dead. So I not because of him, but he's probably going to fail because of the franchise.
That's what I'm saying. You are echoing everything I'm going to say. I'm going to ditto
5
you.
out of 10. I'm going to go with that one
You're going to go with a 5, BB?
because it could go either way. He may beat the odds. I doubt it though.
But because of the franchise,
yeah,
not
not
because
of him.
is. Yeah, it's a tough ask, and in the New York market's real tough.
Yeah.
BB, what do you got?
I'm going to give him a little bit better than that. I'm going to give him maybe a 6. The thing is that I agree. I mean, it's where coaches generally go to die. But this guy was, if not the catch of the year, he was one of, and he probably, for the most part, had a chance to pick his spot. They did come on later in the year with, albeit not very strong talent. So they must have something to work with. If he did take it without some sort of legitimate comfort
they
that they
come
were
on
going
later
in
in
a
the year when
direction
most
he
of the
could work
teams were
with.
mailing it in.
Yeah, well, no, I mean they still. So I'll give it a 6. I think he's got a better chance than most. I think especially if one of his first moves is to get Sam Darnold out of town.
But that's so BV's a 6. Steve, you were what now? A 5? Yeah, and I'm going to cut on underneath all of you because he's a defensive-minded coach. I would argue the Jets' issue isn't all defense. I think a lot of it was like you have to figure out some kind of offense there. Yeah. I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to
run Oklahoma drills.
He's not going to bring the toughness that Motor City Dan Campbell's bringing. I just think he's going to be like a 4, and it's not because of him. It's exactly what you said. It's the franchise. Yeah. Like he had his pick of all the landing spots. Why not go to like Atlanta or something? It just made no sense to me. I don't know, man. This one's tough. So I'm going to give him a 4 to undercut the two of you just because I just don't believe in that franchise at all. So
that's a rough one.
Yeah. All right, so let's go back around. Let's leave Steve for last on this one. I'm going to go first on this. So this is, okay, the Atlanta Falcons have no cap space. They've got no room to move. Everyone's due a mint of money. The Atlanta Falcons went out and got Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator for the Titans. I can't tell you how when I think of the Titans, I think of offensive powerhouse. This is the
run
most,
left, run right.
Dude,
it's not hard
I
to
don't
call.
know what is going on. This
Stifler, run around
hire,
the end.
Even Steve, as a Falcons fan's got to be like, I don't know, man. Like and I can't wait to go around this room for you guys to sell me on him a little bit. This is like a 2 for me. I don't know what this is. I am not impressed by this hire. Nope. This is really low. When I think of the Titans, I think of that toughness and everything. I don't know. This is not. And the Falcons as a franchise have got a lot of issues to attend to. They're kind of like my Steelers, where it's like, what do we do? What do we do going forward and all this kind of stuff? So I'm going to give him a hard 2. That's my take. BV, what do you got on Arthur Smith, the Titans offensive coordinator, now head coach of the Falcons?
It's not even. I mean, I'm giving him a low number 2, but it's not really just because of him. It's because the fit doesn't seem to be very good either. So I'm going to give it. I'll be a little bit more optimistic. I'll give it a 3. But the problems I have are
Steve's
this. Steve's
got to be super happy to hear this about his squad.
This looks to me, and I've said this from kind of the beginning of this discussion that we've had about open positions. I think the Falcons' job, other than probably the Jets' job, is probably the worst of the bunch. And the reason is that their offensive lines is not particularly strong at all. Their defense, holes galore. And their best offensive players, with the exception of one young guy, Calvin Ridley at receiver, by the way, Alabama, are getting old. So there's a chance,
a lot of money.
Yeah, there's a chance. Yeah, and they're way behind the cap. Yeah. So they don't have a ton of money to throw at players. The reason I think Smith's a bad fit is because you figure that you look at the way the Titans play football. How that works is I love his offense. But it's premised on one having a strong offensive line to be able to not only work the running game but to be able to make the play action stuff work. But then you also have to have a defense that's strong enough that lets you play some complementary football. The Falcons have none of that. So if they're going to bring in a guy, if he's going to run that offense the way the Titans run the offense, there's going to be a lot of 35-3 games that they're going to be on the wrong side of in the next year. So it looks to me like a guy who just wants to be a head coach and is willing to take the punishment to get up there. I don't like it at all. But
let me interrupt you, Steve or BB, because we've got Steve, the big Falcon guru here. So Steve or BB, you hit him with what, a 3, a 2? I hit him with a 2. You hit him with a 3. Yeah, I'll give him a 2. Steve, bring it on home. Tell us. Give us the fan mindset of what the Falcons are doing and what the theory is. Go for it.
Like Bill said, Titans offense, when I think of them, I think of innovation.
Not just straight running that rock.
They have a massive man at running back and a pretty solid line anchored by Taylor Lewan. This is the Titans.
Just happened to get hurt, right?
And their offense was run left, run light, then play action, and maybe Stifler will scramble around or throw something for 20 yards. That's not offensive genius. Now he's going to walk into Atlanta where every running back is about 5'2" and 110 pounds. Like Bill said, they have no offensive line. They can't hold a lead to save their lives. They get a lead, then drop it in 2 seconds. They have no defense. They lost the lead to the goddamn Lions. I mean, this is a 1. This is a terrible pick. I wanted Eric Bieniemy for the Chiefs.
What is going? Is he like a terrible interview? They talked about that.
I don't know. The guy. Chiefs offense would be perfect in Atlanta. But what do I know? I'm a fat schmuck. So, and then they're going to drop half the players because of everything.
Yeah, they got
the Saints and the Falcons are going to be the bottom of the NFC South for
of
quite a
that,
while.
yeah.
And this idiot's going to collect a check for 3 years and get fired.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Jeez, Steve is
maybe
down
I'm
on
wrong.
it. Yeah.
1 out of 10.
All right, so Steve is super sour on his squad.
Yeah.
So let's go. Now we're getting into, in my opinion, I don't want to preview, but this is the biggest pick for me.
Okay.
So we've got the LA Chargers, which again they've discussed as being the best one, the best situation. They took Brandon Staley from the L.A. Rams, so he didn't even have to move. They saved on the reload costs. The Rams D coordinator, which they've got a stout defense, a lot of crazy personnel for their defense, but they've had some changes and they they've lost and gained and done whatever, and they've been great. BV, what is your theory on the Chargers pickup of Brandon Staley from the Rams?
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 7, maybe 8.
Yeah.
I agree that this is the best job, best situation of any of them that are available. As much as I don't really, care, I didn't care for the whole, Oregon quarterback thing. Justin Herbert does look like he's legit. Mm-hmm. Played a really, really good rookie year. They've got talent. They're one of those teams that for the last 4 or 5 years, you just can't kind of put your finger on why they find ways to lose close games and end up with crappy records when they probably should be double-digit winners. So they get the right attitude in there, and particularly with a stronger, focus on the defense. I think they got a chance to make a big turnaround quickly. Obviously, this guy has had success, particularly with defenses. They got one of the Bosa's there too, right? The younger one.
Yeah.
Or they have a pass rush. Yeah. They've got. I think they have some players in place. So I like it a lot. I give it 7.
All right, Steve, what do you got for Brandon Staley going over?
There's a franchise
that it's just deemed to be mediocre.
That it's the most historically overhyped pieces of shit. They're on the West Coast, and they're called the fucking Chargers.
This is your answer to Phillip Rivers.
Even without Phillip Rivers. On the radio.
They got that Phillip Rivers stench for years.
It was Anthony Lynn, their coach, on the back. They're Super Bowl contenders. No, they're 8-8. That's what they're going to be with this guy. He's probably a fine coach.
Oh, man.
I just hate the blowing of the Chargers every year. Fuck the Chargers.
Do you think it's the division
Rivers.
that they play in and everything that really is going to keep their foot on their throat and stuff like
that?
Yeah,
they're beating the Chiefs.
Yeah. Well, and then we often talk about them, the Raiders and stuff like that. We're pretty hyped on and everything.
Yeah, those gang of retards in Nevada. Yeah. They'll be 8-8. It's a good hire. I agree with Bill, 7 out of 10. But if I had to hear about how their Super Bowl contenders just missing the right coach, whatever. How many Super Bowls do they have? As many as the Falcons and the Lions.
They went to one with George Bush. What's that guy's name?
They went to a Bobby Ross.
Bobby Ross.
Got mud stomped by Steve Austin. Get the fuck out of here.
Steve, are you just still butthurt because your man crush Phillip Rivers retired the other day?
I'm not butthurt at all. I celebrated. You don't have to hear about his ass anymore. But the Chargers are always the most overhyped piece of shit.
I think this is a great. I'm going to go with a 9.
Wow.
To go by far. This is the best one of the bunch, I think. Because, like I said, even the Rams had some characters moving around and didn't. And you could argue that they have a transcendent player in Aaron Donald. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Like, but I'm saying like that defense is what they've made Jared Goff decent because they were able to keep him on the bench some and stuff like that. So this is a big pick for me. This is the winner of the 6 for my opinion. So I'm gonna go with that. Now let's go to Steve for again. We've already got his Falcons take. Now we got his hometown take on Motor City Dan Campbell coming in hot. The Saints assistant head coach or whatever we're calling him, tight end / assistant head coach. Steve, what's your opinion on Motor City Dan Campbell?
Because of Pat McAfee, it could be a 9 because he makes it awesome. But before Pat McAfee went crazy, made it funny, he's another Lions coach that was a tight ends coach. He was 5-7 with Miami. He played on the 0-16 team for the Lions. It was a 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
But with the Pat McAfee making him great every week.
10.
If you include Pat McAfee, it's 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Without Pat McAfee, it's 3 out of 10.
And then I agree with Steve. I think that Chris Spielman, who was major part of this search, put his weird like tough man stench all over this pick, and it's one of those things where he ran Oklahoma drills in Miami, so he's going to bring some toughness. And I think McAfee's 100% spot on and all this kind of stuff.
I do agree with they need a little toughness. They haven't had an edge since Schwartz has been there. Remember, they had an edge with Schwartz.
Yeah, but you also had Sue, who's a psycho.
Yeah, that was great.
He didn't stop being a psycho.
Kick you in the nuts.
I got news for you. Sue was a psycho when he went to Detroit. He was not.
But then he dropped off after he left Detroit quite a bit. You didn't hear much about him after he left the Lions.
I don't know.
Schwartz at least brought him a toughness. They were still fucking 8-8 or something.
I don't know.
But at least they were a little tough.
That's
one thing I hope this guy brings that.
I'll give him, like I said, like a 3. It's very much one of those ones where you hear, you're just like, okay, yes, like you said, he's been brought to the forefront because of hilarity, but that's not when I initially heard it, I had to take a minute and go, really, who is that again? Like, what is the lineage on this guy? And
maybe they're hoping he'll turn into like a Bill Cowher type coach. Very emotional, get guys playing for him. I don't know.
Grabbing by face masks and tearing them up. I don't know.
I don't see it right now. But
I'm really lukewarm on this. Yeah, this is weird. So me and Stevie hit him with 3. What do you got, BV?
Yeah, I'm with you on the whole. I heard about the hire, and I had to stop and go, is that dude that was like the 3rd string tight end for the Lions for a long time? Like it didn't quite fit, and I had because Chris Spielman, he's not the GM, but he's only like a special assistant to the owner.
He was oddly, they put him in charge.
So when I hear that he had his hands all over it, for whatever reason, what I keep hearing in the back of my head ringing when you're talking about this is the words of like Mike Singletary, winners. This whole emphasis on toughness is great, but this let's take the old school approach to the new game thing does not work. It plays for a little while, and when your talent doesn't freaking live up to it, and you're still going 4-12 despite all the toughness, he becomes a douchebag, and the players can't get him out of the town fast enough.
He asked Jim Harbaugh how that works out.
I'm giving it a 3 as well. This is just another one of those check the box coaches, try to get you excited and sell you a crap piece of goods. Bill of goods when you're going to get the same product you've always gotten. Oh, and on top of it, they don't have talent. They don't have any talent coming in. And I know you guys don't love the guy. I don't really love him either. But the best, other than probably Galladay, the best actual player that they have, at least on offense, apparently is going to be leaving town soon. It's Stafford. So they're going to have no quarterback, no running game, one receiver with injury problems, no offensive line, and less than half a defense.
Other than
You
that,
could
they're
put
good.
Jesus S. Christ in as the coach, and they'd still only win 6 games next year.
I don't know. It's one of those hires that you just go, okay, man. Like, prove us wrong.
I mean,
guess.
Pat McAfee's gonna make it fun,
Yeah.
but for the most part, after that, it's gonna be like,
Yeah.
we'll see after the draft. The
Yeah.
draft will say a lot.
If he fails, McAfee will make it even more fun.
Well, if he fails, he signed a 6-year contract.
Yeah, wow.
If he fails, they're gonna pay this motherfucker for a while.
Well, what are they paying him now? Like
I don't know,
6-pack and a bag of nachos every year?
Also valid point. Times
Good
6.
point, good
Yeah,
point,
you
good
got to do 6
I forgot
pack.
about that.
All right,
Has he got,
now
like, the
we're on to
30th
our.
highest salary on the team.
And again, much like the previous conversation we just had. So I got this Eagles pick is expected to be Nick Sirianni, offensive coordinator of the Colts. You could have asked me 2 weeks ago who's the offensive coordinator of the Colts, and I told you Frank Reich.
Yeah, I would've said Frank
honestly
Reich,
have
too.
no idea what this is. That's a big. The Eagles are a big deal. So this is just a weird. I guess but that's the kind of thing that can sometimes be successful. Is like the non-splashy name who just can. But the Eagles need a lot of help, man. I was way into their hype train, and boy, did that fall apart this year. So don't listen to me on anything Philadelphia. This is another one of these. I'm going to hit it with a mediocre 3 again.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about it. So that's my take on it. BV, what do you got?
I don't know, really. I mean, I guess there's been some success. I mean, I didn't know who the guy was.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he's had
Where's
some
the one guy?
success
Where's the
with-
Dable guy from Buffalo?
well,
yeah, they're saying
they're still playing, so he can't sign with anybody yet.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, there's a lot less vacancies at this point.
Well, that's good for me. But but no, so I mean, it seems okay. Maybe my thing is he's young, right? He's only like 39 or something. So maybe this is one of those, let's go the trend and get one of those young up and coming assistants that can step in and be like a Sean McVay or McDermott or
Yeah, but you
something
heard
like that.
not whatever, but what you just compared to Sean McVay. You heard grumblings about his weird acumen and all this kind of stuff. I don't know shit about this guy. Like I've never heard of this name until today.
Yeah, me either. I mean, the offense in Indianapolis was pretty successful, but they weren't exactly world beaters.
It's because they had Phillip Rivers. That's all they needed.
Well, yeah, but I did like the fact that they adapted the game, right? I mean, when Rivers started becoming a turnover machine, they started pounding the ball constantly. But I don't know. I'm only going to give this like a 4 because he's probably good. He's probably can bring some energy into the thing. But that team seems like a sinking ship. Like they're on their way back to
who's their quarterback?
anonymity pretty quickly. Well, and I guess the question now, because Wentz has had a couple of years where he just hasn't looked good at all, and is Jalen Hurts legitimately a pro quarterback?
No.
If the answer to both of those are no, and it might be no,
That is the answer.
But
Steve was
if the
waiting for
answer to
that
both of those is no, then they're already screwed anyway.
I watched him against the goddamn Redskins. He was he 7 for 20 for 30 yards? I forget. It was something terrible. And then he was mad.
He's played like 4 games in his career
He
so
got
far.
mad that he got benched. Hey, man, you were terrible.
Yeah.
Shut your ass and sit down.
All right, so you hit it with a 4, BV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got, Steve? Let's finish it up. What do you
3. Unless he's a quarterback whisperer, it's a 3.
yeah, I don't know, man.
And so everything Bill said, and plus, he's got to
Jimmy
fix Wentz.
Clausen,
You
what?
don't fix Wentz, then you got to trade him.
Yeah.
And trade him to Colts. The Colts will take him. But anyways, 3 out of 10.
And then, like I said, the only one that's left to the point that Steve brought up seems to be the Texans' job. Other than that, and the 2 names I've heard is Bieniemy and the Dable guy is the only. I don't know.
Someone said Caldwell is the front runner in Houston.
Yeah,
Which makes
sorry.
Go ahead.
My understanding is that a big part of the beef with Watson that has him wanting out is that they told him that they were going to consult him about their GM and coach choices, and he specifically lobbied for them to bring in Bieniemy, and they didn't even give him an interview until just recently. They called him for one because now it's reports that he wants to trade. So they didn't seem to have any intention on going to Bieniemy at all. And
It's so weird with that guy. Are they just saying without those weapons he's nothing? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, but the Andy Reid coaching tree, they showed it on TV.
It's insane.
It's
Yeah.
better than the
Yeah.
the Belichick tree. So I don't even understand why people wouldn't.
Yeah.
Look at the dude that got fired at the Eagles was under that. I don't know.
there might be if you can find two guys out of that list we just went through that would make more sense on just about every team than Bieniemy, then I'd be impressed. Because the only one I can think of potentially is
Urban Meyer.
Staley and the Chargers. Please.
He's not gonna go on that one at all.
I don't. You know what? And the thing is, I don't even want I don't even want the $100. I just wanted to prove my point.
It's okay because you're going to win the $100, so it doesn't matter.
I'll take it, but I'm just.
Charles going to buy some Amazon equipment with $200.
Yeah. All right. So what? That's an interesting thing, and like I said, maybe we'll have one more. We'll rate the last coach as we get it, but I wanted to kind of take your guys' temperature on the stuff because I thought it was kind of interesting.
All right, so there we go, and we'll talk a little NFL here in a minute as well.
Because we're running out.
Yeah, we're running out, so Michelle will be happy when we don't have to talk about NFL anymore.
Yeah, but the problem is we're going to go into NBA and NHL commentary. Me, you, and BB don't know shit about those two. So,
Eric weighed in, said he's not going to run his system. He must be talking about Urban Meyer.
Oh, well, we'll see.
The Wigs. Yeah. So, Bill, did you find the special Oreo cookie?
No, sold out.
Oh man!
I found them at Myers. So, and I'd show you guys the package, but my daughter has ravaged them.
Animals, man.
Animals in my house. Yeah, I cannot buy taste tests a week in advance because they get shredded.
They house them.
Because this is what happens.
So these are a limited edition Oreo. I'm not a big.
2 rows are gone.
2 rows are gone. Dang, they must be good though. So these are limited edition. They're Brookie O. They're apparently a brownie and an Oreo had a baby here.
Yeah, they got 3 layers. It's like a triple stuffed Oreo almost.
Wow, okay.
So it's supposed to taste like brownie and cookie mixed together.
Yeah, there's like a chocolate layer and everything in there going on. Let me hit that on the main so I can show the striations here. Oh, here I can do it on mine. Yeah, you can see all the different layers and everything. I don't know. I find Oreos to be the most overrated cookie on the planet.
Oh, the Oreos are the Chargers of the cookie world?
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
So dry. Do you need milk with these? I'm the wrong person. I'm not into this at all.
Really? I like a good Oreo.
It's got good filling.
But it doesn't taste much different than a regular Oreo.
I would not know if you blindfolded me this was like a different than an Oreo. I just said this is an Oreo.
It doesn't taste like a brownie at all. It just tastes like regular Oreo filling. It's like they just colored the filling different colors.
Called it cookie or called it brownie. Oreos are the most overrated cookie. They are. They are the Chargers of the cookie world. You need a gallon of milk with this. I mean, I'm telling you. So we had those delicious Chips Ahoy. Those red velvet Chips Ahoys they were all buttery and delicious. This thing is dry as ass, needs a gallon of milk with it. Oreos are so overrated.
I do like a good dry cookie, though.
Ugh.
Oh, you gotta love any cookie that's buttery.
Gotta get the butteriness, man. I don't know. And I'm with Steve. I don't taste anything other than a regular Oreo in my mouth.
Yeah, there's no point in hunting those down, Bill. I'm telling you that right now.
But that happens a lot I like regular Oreos.
Oh, so
but they'll come out with all these different versions, and half of them just appear to be regular Oreos with different colored frosting.
Yeah, they broke out the food coloring and called it some kooky, and we all bought it up. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know.
They have another one that I almost bought, the carrot cake Oreo.
Oof.
That's got to be terrible, though.
Dude.
I'm not a carrot cake fan.
Yeah, so like last week or whatever, was it 2 weeks ago we had those Chips Ahoy? I'll sit here all day and my hand will just find those Chips Ahoy. That, you can take that shit home. I am so not into Oreos, man.
If I had a cup of milk, I could probably eat the whole package.
Yeah, so if you softened it up, because it tastes like shit, man. Oreo is so overrated. It drives me crazy.
Well, the Oreo Chargers.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah. I mean, there's no point in looking
Give
for
us
it
the
at
review.
store.
What do you got?
What is it, 5 out of 10? I just get Oreo double stuff. There's no point in buying those.
And a regular Oreo double stuff you can find on the shelves everywhere.
Yeah,
It's super easy.
Don't hunt around for this, people. There's no point in it. It's a 5 out of 10. You're just better off just getting Oreo double stuff.
And I'm going to say...
But it's still an Oreo if you like Oreos, of course.
If you're in the cookie aisle, go get those soft Chips Ahoy. Eat those. Do yourself a solid and get that delicious Chips Ahoy cookie. And forget this terrible-ass Oreo, man. Oreos are so whack. I don't dig them at all.
So we do have, eventually, coming up on some of our taste tests later on, I do want to get the Stone Cold Steve Austin beer.
You can get that? Is it
Not,
like the rattlesnake?
not quite.
beer?
Yeah,
It's not available it's only available in like 7 or 8 states right now.
is
yeah,
it?
but yeah,
Is
probably
it
summer.
BSR, like Broken Skull Ranch beer or something like that?
And then The Rock has ice cream of some sort.
Oh, he just released
her-
an energy drink, too.
Oh, yeah,
right?
an energy
Yeah.
drink, and then also an ice cream with his tequila in it.
Oh, okay.
So we'll have to find both of those.
I think
might
any
be on a
product
Wild
that The
Goose
Rock
Chase.
is attached to, you could bring in here, and all three of us are like, all right, let's check this out.
We're gonna fall for his stuff
dude,
all the
he
time.
can bring out like a 2000 flushes toilet bowl cleaner. Me and Steve would be like, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, let's try it. Put the toilet buds in my mouth. Now, are either one of you guys gonna watch The Rock growing up?
Yes,
Are
I
you gonna
do.
watch
Yeah,
that?
the young Rock looks great. I do.
Really?
I'm way
You think
into it
so?
because they're going to have like wrestling stuff and all that. It's going to be cool. I think I'm definitely into that. BB, what do you think?
I'm going to give it a shot, but I don't have a whole lot of confidence that it's going to be great.
Man.
Yeah, I'm pretty tainted by Young Sheldon. That show was
Yeah,
terrible.
Young Sheldon's awesome.
Didn't like that at all.
And that's probably the only thing that's going to hold The Rock thing back is everyone's going to think, oh, it's going to be like that Young Sheldon. I'm not going to watch it.
Man.
So, anyway.
Yeah, I'm into it though.
All right, let's go into some reviews this week. And the big one that hit Disney Plus last week, and I know Wiggs, he talked to me about this week too. Wandavision on Disney Plus. This stars the Scarlet Witch and Vision. They are members of the Avengers. Vision died in, spoilers, Avengers Endgame. So, okay, there's that. And Wanda's power is she can alter reality and she can bend things with her mind. She's a very powerful kind of a witch. That's why she's called the Scarlet Witch. The Disney Plus released.
Can I pause you for a second? Mm-hmm. In the pantheon of like of Marvel characters, what tier? If I'm going to say 1 through 5, 1 being an Iron Man, a Thor, and a Captain America, 5 being Ant-Man or whatever.
Yeah.
What tier are these guys on?
Like a 9?
Yeah,
They are the Chargers of the Marvel Universe.
what tier are we on to?
The Chargers are all
Screwing
over the
up
place.
Jets?
They're the Jets of the Marvel
I
Universe.
mean, what the hell?
Ask me how many Scarlet Witch comics I bought when I was collecting comics.
Was there
0.0.
Oh my
I did
God,
not-
there's an actual Scarlet Witch comic
No, because the character was so shitty.
that they put her in other shit.
They should be in other books or she'd get a mini series here and there. And I bought none of them.
Yeah, wow.
So they gave us the first 2 episodes. And of course, I want to introduce the show. I'm going to try to watch the whole season and come back at the end of the
It
season.
looked like a 50s kind of drama, like a play on like an I Love Lucy thing. Or
Well,
something.
yeah, okay. So now, if there's no Marvel attached to this, and I told you, Charles, there's going to be a show about 2 superheroes coming out. And I know you're not a huge fan of
I get you, I
superheroes,
get
but you're like, all right, I'll watch it. You'll watch the first 2 episodes, and there'll be no superhero in it for 2 episodes.
Oh, wow.
The first episode is a play on like I Love Lucy or the
Yeah.
Ed Sullivan or what was
Is that
I
like
forget
50s? Yeah.
Literally, it's 25 minutes long. It's just a sitcom. Has nothing to do.
Oh, they
it's
don't
those
even
2
talk into powers?
playing wife.
Or
Nothing.
They don't lean into
There's
nothing?
one like mystery scene.
Because what Paul Bettany is playing Vision,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So as you know, you've watched Avengers. You know Vision's dead. So that's kind of weird that he's here doing this stuff. So you're like, why is he alive? Never touch on it. Never do anything. It's a sitcom, 25 minutes. There's one scene where one of their house guests is choking, and it goes really long, and it's kind of awkward. That's supposed to be like a hint that something's wrong, and that's it. The rest is a bad laugh track. It's black and white. It's a 25-minute sitcom. You think, oh, fuck. Well, the next episode will be better. The next episode is a play on Bewitched. 25 minutes long. Again, just a bad sitcom. One scene at the very end of it for like 10 seconds. Some dude
sparks intrigue.
Some
and
guy
then-
crawls out of a manhole cover and she goes, no. And he goes back in and then the show ends. That's it in 2 episodes.
Wow.
If this wasn't Marvel, everyone in the universe would be telling you this is the biggest piece of shit they've ever
Oh,
seen.
wow.
Wiggs couldn't make it past 20 minutes of the first
Oh, yeah,
episode.
he was out, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm trying to hang on because it's Marvel, but it's bad. Michelle didn't like it. I didn't like it. Wiggs didn't like it. It's nothing to do with superheroes. Eventually, they're going to lead to why she's doing this and everything.
So she is forcing this weird alternate reality.
She
is what
or
you're
someone's
saying?
making her do it.
I get you.
So she's making this weird reality.
So
at
in
the
theory,
end of
you
one
gotta
episode,
buy in for like 8 episodes.
yeah,
and then,
yeah. And from what I've seen, the next episode's another sitcom. It's kind of like Brady Bunch. So they're going up a decade every time.
Yeah.
If this takes 9 episodes to get where they're going or 8 episodes, that's terrible. Right now, this show's a 2. It's terrible. At the end of the first episode, someone is watching her. They turn like the TVs and she's not. But that's it. Like the Mandalorian, the first episode, they gave you goddamn Baby Yoda. And you were like, whoa, I gotta watch the rest.
My mind was blown.
Breaking Bad, first episode, he's in his drawers in an RV, and you're like, what the? Game of Thrones. Brother and sister bang, and they throw a kid off a tree.
And they cut old boy's head off. Now Ned Stark's dead.
Yeah, you gotta give me something. It's like they're giving us nothing.
And I'll give you like a first episode of like setup, but then you better get into it pretty hard. Like,
they have it in 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And there's only 8 episodes, so 6 more episodes, and it's over. It's bad. And they're getting a free pass because they're Marvel, and everyone's giving them a free pass, but it's not good.
Wow.
It's not good. No, I'm sorry. It's not.
Wow.
And if it doesn't improve drastically by the 3rd episode, I'm out. And I'll wait till all episodes air. And then I'll just watch the last episode.
Yeah. What is your opinion on what you think the twist is? What's your thing?
There is
preface with spoilers if you know. All right.
Spoilers. There's a comic series called House of M, where Scarlet Witch she's a mutant in the comics. She's not in the movies. Where she kind of went crazy and redid all of reality because her kids died. And she vanished like all mutants and stuff like that. It was an excuse for Marvel to redraw a bunch of characters. So it's like a whole alternate universe she made in her mind. I think somehow it's going to tie into that. Would be my guess. But who knows? Right now they've given us no nuggets. Like I said, Mandalorian gave you Baby Yoda.
Let me ask a question then too. How is the production value? Is it full fledged like Disney Plus production value?
I don't know because it's in black and white.
Oh, it just looks like butt, huh?
It just looks like a sitcom.
Oh wow.
It looks terrible.
There's been no effect, nothing. Oh wow, Jesus!
It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm telling you right now.
I mean, it's horrible.
It's terrible.
Oh my
it's
God.
terrible.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Knuckleheads.
I would have rather watch Oklahoma drills with Vision getting hit over and over again.
Oh,
I did not like this at all. And let's be honest, I barely liked the characters to begin with. And then you're going to give me this dog shit? It's like, so if this is phase 4 of Marvel, I might be out. Because this is not good. It's not good. I have no faith. I thought I was alone, but then Wiggs texted me, and Michelle was like, this is terrible, too.
Wow.
So I'm not the only one that thinks that way. And again, everyone online, the people online have broken down every second of the show.
looking for the little hints,
Yeah,
little
on
nuggets.
there's a calendar that the husband and wife are looking at, and there's a heart on the number 23 of August or whatever. What is that? And they couldn't figure it out. Well, it meant Hart, his boss's name is like Bob Hart, and he was coming over for dinner. It's on the 23rd is what it was. People online, 23 is the exact number of Marvel movies that have been released. So it's like Easter eggs like that are in it. Like, who gives a shit?
Oh, wow.
What is that got to do with anything?
The best part is out of 23, I've seen 4.
Yeah, well, I've seen them all, and I'm regretting the Wandavision. So anyways, I'll come back at the end of the season and tell you the rest. Right now, it's trending down for me.
Wow.
So next up, it was on Game Pass. Have you heard of this game, Among Us?
It's got a huge following.
Yeah.
So basically, I know the premise of it. Someone among you is the problem. Yeah. Okay.
So it's all online. So it's a big spaceship. And you got all these stations inside the spaceship, and then there's a cafeteria in the middle with a table. And basically there's 10 of you, 10 random people. You pick your color, your little red guy, yellow guy, blue guy. And you got to go do little activities on the spaceship. Like one is take the trash out. The other one is go fix some electrical or something. It's really easy mini games you play. But one of you, or sometimes 2 of you, out of the 10 are spies or they call them imposters. Okay. And your job is to sneak around the ship and either sabotage stuff or kill somebody when nobody's looking. And then once that happens, someone hits the button and you all go to almost like a tribal meeting on Survivor and you vote somebody off. It's fun. It was free, so it was fun. Very small game, loads super quick. Didn't even download barely. It was fun with Holly. Like Holly played on her phone, and I played on the computer.
Oh, you can cross-platform.
This is one of those games that plays on everything. It's on a toaster. It's on everything. So that's kind of fun.
So my LG refrigerator will play this game.
Yeah. And I played about 6 games. I won twice, and I won once as an imposter.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was fun. I don't take it seriously.
What gives it away? Like so if someone's smurfing around not performing a task is what you're saying?
Yeah, and then like only imposters can get in events and like go around. So if you see someone pop an event, you know they're an imposter. Or if you see them stabbing them, then he's an imposter. So that kind of gives it away. What happens is, one, everyone takes it super serious. It's the dumbest game to take serious. So like a group of them, like 3 or 4 of them will stay together. So you can't, if you go over to kill one of them, the other three are going to see you.
No, you immediately.
Yeah. So you can't really, that usually
Which is
happens.
also the issue with Fall Guys, as people kind of, they video game it too much and take kind of the fun angle out of it. It's kind of annoying.
I'll give credit to Holly. I didn't know. So we started playing, and she's following me around. She was the imposter. We got in a room. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty. She stabbed me to death. What the hell? She's like, ah. Like, no.
That's funny.
That was pretty funny. She's totally gang. I don't take it serious at all. So, like, when they go to the group meetings and vote, you got chat. I'm like, I farted in my spacesuit. I just started making stink. I was like, I think it was orange, black, blue, and purple. All of them did it. So I never took it serious. And then Holly's like, you can't be doing it. They never voted me off. They're like, that's just a crazy dude running around. But they take it like really serious, like these people, and they're like, you're sus. Sus is suspect.
Oh, okay.
Orange is sus. And I'm like, I looked at Holly and go, what the hell is sus?
Yeah.
She goes, it's
How
suspect.
much is she playing it? Is she loving it a lot?
During the volleyball season, a lot of them, like on the bus to the game, they'd all sit there and play on their phones.
So it was. How do you guys link up to be in the same game?
It gives you a code on what server you're on.
Oh, okay.
So hers was like 8BDCCC, whatever. I put that on mine. It takes me to that room.
Oh, okay.
And then you're all on the same thing.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, like I said, it's free on Game Pass, so it's it's cheesy. I don't think I need to play it again, but a 7 out of 10. I can see how kids
Very
like it.
popular right
Yeah,
now.
she gets together with all her friends and everything. I guess their friends got to move. They all vote her off immediately, even if she's in or not. She goes, they made me so mad. Because I was super competitive. So, decent game. Among Us is a little game. It's on everything. It's on Xbox, PS4, PC, phones, you name it. Because the graphics are like 8-bit,
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. I just like ripping on people and making cracks, and then Holly sabotaged me. So on my Facebook from time to time, I get ads. And this ad came up called The Watch. This looked like a sci-fi show. Had a big guy made of rock. Bill's got the picture of it there. There's a crazy drunk guy. There's a werewolf girl. It reminds me a lot of that movie with Will Smith, Bright, where it's like he's a cop, but there's orcs and
Which me and you kind of liked. I enjoyed that movie. Yeah.
Well, this isn't it. So this is kind of like a dystopian future type deal, and the Watch are basically the police, is what they are. And no one has weapons or like guns. Everyone's got like crossbows. So it's mixed with, like I said, trolls and stuff like that. There's two sci-fis, right? There's Battlestar Galactica and Star Wars, and the other is Doctor Who and Star Trek. This goes towards the Doctor Who and Star Trek side.
Not a lot of action.
Yeah, it's all. There's humor in it though. There's a lot of humor in it, but it's by the BBC and it's on AMC. I have the AMC app for the next month. That's what it was on. Got it because my wife also watches The Discovery of Witches, where she told me to tell you it's fantastic. It's a 10 out of 10. She loves that
I don't
show.
know what that is.
It's a weird little show about a book series she read years ago, and she goddamn loves that show.
Oh my god!
So I got this.
Is it only available on the app? Why did she?
Yeah, it's on. Well, if you have Sundance Channel, do you have Sundance Channel? Yeah. So if you don't have Sundance Channel, you gotta get the app.
Oh wow!
So I watched this, and then there's that other Walking Dead I was gonna watch on it. So we got some things to watch on. But this show's terrible. I made it through 4 episodes. It's just not good.
I was thinking when I saw this, what's the show where it's like set in like olden time, The Turn or something like that? What is that show where they're weird British soldiers back in the day, and it's on AMC?
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that's what I thought you got into because it was BBC and AMC, and I was like, oh, is that show? But no, I guess not. I think it's called The Turn.
People online hate this because it's based on a book series called Discworld. I don't know what Discworld is. I didn't read the book. But if it's as shitty as a show, I don't
I've
want to
never
read
heard
the
of any of it. You're just telling me today.
I mean, it's got like, so you can see the big guy in the back. He's like Thing. He's made of rock. But spoiler alerts, in the second episode, they shoot him with arrows and he dies. I was like, how'd the arrows go to the rock? They made no sense to me.
I'm looking at BB's picture.
Yeah, there's a big rock. He was cool looking. It was like a traditional makeup kind of like.
Oh, like old latex.
Yeah, it looked cool.
They had to get rid of him because he took too much of the budget.
Yeah, I guess so. They killed him by the second episode. So The Watch is a turd. Give it a 2 out of 10. WandaVision 2 out of 10. But Among Us was fun. Charles?
Wow. So I started. We talked kind of a couple weeks ago with the launch of Discovery Plus. We talked pre-show about how annoying everything is a plus now, and
Paramount Plus.
yeah, everything's plus. Apple Plus. Blah 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 blah.
I'm gonna be known as Steve Plus from now on.
Yeah, this is Fat Guys in a Little
Porn
Podcast
Stats Plus. Yeah, Fat Guys Plus.
So I took out and then checked out two original shows this past week. There was the Mike Rowe. It's called 6 Degrees with Mike Rowe. And then I'm a big Gold Rush guy. I like the Gold Rush shows. That's where they're gold mining. This is called Freddy Dodge's Mine Rescue. And so the Mike Rowe show is basically he's doing 6 degrees. So he would say, like, you know, this is how, you know, how the meatpacking industry can solve your hangover. And then he has, like, you ever hear that show or know that show on the Comedy Central called The Drunk History, where they give you, like, little snippets of history and, like, how things actually were? This is basically 6 mini stories that link those two together. So, like, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever, you've heard of that term, and how everything in this world is only 6 degrees apart. So Mike Rowe is your narrator / host through these kind of reenactment vignettes. And, like, yeah, and kind of what you just said is kind of where I'm at on it. I love Mike Rowe. I think Mike Rowe, Dirty Jobs, is one of the best shows on all of Discovery.
Are you the one
ever.
that told me he's an opera singer?
Yeah, he's an opera singer. Steve's got his man crushes. I got mine. I love me some Mike Rowe. This one is a bit of a swing and a miss because it's bad, like low-budget reenactments that are spun to be kind of funny, like Drunk History and all this kind of stuff. But you realize you just don't kind of care. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, yeah, there's weird stories of, like, how Bank of America started out as, like, the Bank of Italy because some guys robbed banks during the huge earthquake of remember the San Francisco earthquake that happened in the late 1800s? Someone robbed banks during that, and then they started their own bank where they lent money to people to rebuild their businesses. And that turns out to become, like, the roots of Bank of America, which is interesting for, like, 2 seconds, but you're like, I don't know. It's so hard to describe. It was I didn't care, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I got what they were going for, but, like, I just, you know, I watched it, but it was just kind of like, it's very mediocre. It's a solid Steve 6. And even my love of Mike Rowe couldn't get it anymore. It just kind of was on in the background, but I was checking my phone a lot and texting you and texting Heather. And, you know, it kind of like, it's just okay. And then the other one is, I love a good Kitchen Nightmares. I love a good Bar Rescue. I love where they go in and these idiots that start a restaurant that have no restaurant experience and all this kind of stuff. So this is Freddy Dodge is like a weird gold recovery expert on the Gold Rush shows. So they bring him in. He manufactures equipment. He also is extremely knowledgeable his whole life. He's been gold recovery. He goes around to these people. So imagine me and you were like, well, me, you, and BV were like, we're going to open up a gold mine. We're just going to go into Oregon and start, you know, I'm going to buy a piece of property and we're going to figure out how to gold mine. And everyone will also go like, you're insane, but okay, like whatever. So he goes in and has to like fix their failing mines is what he does. And then I like I said, I'm a bit of a sucker for these type of shows. And then I also like, there's swearing a lot on this show, which I thought was good too. Cause like, you know, dudes who are working in a gold mine, you know, are going to drop some F-bombs. Like, let's be frank about it, you know, and this one's a much better show. Out of the Discovery Plus originals, I would definitely recommend if you do like the Gold Rush shows and any of that gold recovery stuff, that this show's really pretty good. And I'd give it like an 8 out of 10 for me.
Bill's making a funny face.
Wow, what's going on?
I don't know what he's doing.
What do you got, BB?
It had nothing to do with anything. Funny taste in my mouth for a second. I was like
you bit something super sour.
He ate an Oreo. No.
When you said Freddy died, for some reason my mind went to Freddy got fingered with Tom Green.
Yeah, I don't know. I like this one, but again, I'm a sucker for the Gold Rush shows. So that's why I would give it.
I'd like to pitch a show to Mike Rowe.
What you got?
He loves technical schools so much. How about it couldn't be a whole season, but maybe 6 episodes on some of the top technical schools, what you learn at the schools, and what kind of companies hire people from the schools.
Like he could go to like an aviation type school.
Yeah. Or what's that school of broadcasting here that you always hear about?
Oh, it's on 89X.
Yeah,
and all that kind of
like
stuff.
the real
Howards or whatever.
Specs
Howard.
Specs Howard. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it would be a free advertising for the schools, and then people could get kind of like.
You also wonder how people get certain jobs.
Yeah, and like what companies hire from those big tech schools and stuff like that.
I'd
be interesting, anyways. Not maybe a whole season.
I think that Mike Rowe is great. And like you said, he's even a super big conservative, but it doesn't bother me. Like, you can have your politics and all that kind of stuff, but like, I like what he's about. I like that he's all about the trades and all that kind of stuff. Big fan. That show for me was just kind of like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Can't all be winners. The world needs ditch diggers too.
yeah,
So this next one is hard.
this is the Regina King directed
yeah.
Amazon Prime.
Did you watch this?
No, I can't have Amazon Prime anymore. I've had an insane amount of boxes.
I want to watch it, but I haven't seen it yet.
The content and the importance of the content is good. The acting is good. The directing is good. But it is a little boring. I want to like this more than I do.
What is the premise of it? Set it up for me.
Muhammad Ali's 22 years old, and he is good friends with Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, and Jim Brown. The Jim Brown from the Cleveland Browns. Sam Cooke, the singer, and, of course, Malcolm X, the big Islam guy. And it's a fight with Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston, he beats him. Sonny Liston doesn't come out of his corner. That part's good. They show the fight. The dude from The Sopranos, the young guy, Christopher off The Sopranos, is his
Michael Imperial.
Yeah, I don't know his name. There's 2 fights Muhammad Ali they showed. Love that.
Christopher
that
Moltisanti.
Yes.
I love The Sopranos.
So the gist of the night after he won the title in Miami, they went to a hotel. And the hotel has Malcolm X and the 4 guys. And that's the movie. The 4 of them just sit around discussing and arguing things for 2 hours.
Oh, there's no, like, they're not burying a body.
No. It's all about civil rights and how people are treated and stuff like that. So it's good, and that's good information. But it's like they're just
talking at you the whole
just gonna
time.
sit in this goddamn room for 2 hours.
Wow.
So it's like it's a hard one. It's like I didn't hate it, but at the time I was like, well, something happened. And then so I thought maybe they sit in this room and then there'll be flashbacks. And there's a scene with Jim Brown before that where he goes home and there's a white neighbor of his that loves him and treats him like great. But the neighbor needs to move a couch, and Jim Brown's gonna go in there to help him. He's like, blacks aren't allowed in my house, even though he's a good friend of Jim Brown. So it kind of really portrayed the racism and stuff back then. But it's like, oh man, you really have a new appreciation for Sam Cooke though. I didn't know much about him going in. Obviously the other 3 you do. Some of his music, he was like the original. He owned the rights to all his music, so a lot of people didn't back then. So he got a lot of money. He also had a company where he supported other black artists and stuff like that. Stuff I didn't know. The Rolling Stones did a cover of one of his artists, and they made buku bucks because of it. He was always on the other charts, the R&B charts, because he couldn't be on the pop charts because he was black. So that I didn't know any of that stuff. That was very interesting. And Malcolm X apparently doesn't turn it off ever. He's always preaching.
No,
because even the other 3 are like, come on, we're all friends. You got to preach to us now. And it was about Malcolm X. Also, that was the time he was Cassius Clay still. Malcolm X is the one that talked him into Islam and changing his name and stuff like that. So there is some historical stuff there. It's just, man, I wish it was more exciting.
It's a TED Talk, is what you're saying?
Wow. So 4 hours, or not 4 hours, but 2 hours of 4 guys sitting in a hotel room. It's like,
Any notable actors in it? Curiously enough, or did she cast kind of obscure?
I don't
likeness
recognize
guys. Yeah,
I don't recognize anybody. One of Malcolm X's guys that watches over him was a guy off of Fringe. I know that much, but that's about it. That's the only person I recognized, and the guy from The Sopranos. But it's very informative and it's historical. And it's not exciting. I'll tell you that much. I mean, I'd rather watch the Green Book again about the race relations there. That was a much more exciting, and it was a road trip with 2 buddies, and you still dealt with race. This was just kind of, yeah, man. So it's a 6 out of 10. Unfortunately,
hit her that Steve 6.
Yeah. So, but I mean, you're still gonna learn some good stuff in it. But boy, it's not exciting. So there you go. WandaVision's a turd. Among Us is pretty fun. The Watch on it, BBC, AMC. 6 Degrees of Mike Rowe could be better. Freddy Got Fingered, the Mind Rescue version, is pretty good. And One Night in Miami is not exciting, but very historical. So let's get back into football because Michelle loves it.
I don't care. It's great.
Yeah. So the second round happened since the last podcast, and the AFC side we don't have to cover too much, but the Cleveland Browns
do. I mean, what are you talking about?
that's true.
Patrick Mahomes' head is still scrambled.
Cleveland Browns lose 17-22 against the Kansas City Chiefs. This game is probably closer because Mahomes got knocked out on an option play.
What are we gonna talk about? Like that Andy Reid is slowly trying to kill Patrick Mahomes. Like, dude, he's
Did he call
multiple
that play?
times now. I don't know. Multiple times though.
Or maybe
like,
Airbnb called that
yeah,
play.
wow.
He's the
I'm
offensive
just like,
coordinator.
what is going on? Like, dude, he is.
I
Dude, there's a
text
couple
Bill-
times he's gotten hurt doing this. Like,
I text Bell earlier in the week. I go, I hope it's one of those 2-week concussions for the Buffalo
Yeah,
Bills. Doesn't seem like it. They're claiming it. They're
a
already
nerve
playing off.
pinch or
Yeah,
something
nerve.
like that.
You don't end up like that from a nerve
He
pinch.
was shook. Dude.
They're
He couldn't
lying like
stand
mugs
up.
on that. It didn't look like that bad of a hit when it happened.
But you see his head bopped off.
Yeah,
the
then when it
carpet.
went in slow motion.
What do you got, BB?
He's already he hasn't finished the protocol, but he's already
He's
practiced.
limited, right? Yeah, that's all they're calling
Yeah.
him is limited right now.
They lied to that motherfucker. You know
He's gonna play.
he was concussed. There was no pinch.
Dude, he
there.
was screwed.
All you had to do was look at him when he first got up until he was concussed.
He
I don't care
couldn't
how much he ran
stand.
back to the back afterwards.
Yeah,
That was no
He
pinch.
didn't know where he
nerve.
was.
I don't know.
Yeah, so
Where's Holly's boyfriend to tell us what the symptoms are?
yeah, and then ironically, the guy who I thought had been retired for 5 years, Chad Henne comes out.
Yeah,
I was like,
dude.
wait, he's still in the league?
And throws that little flip pass on 4th and inches.
That
dude.
took balls.
You text me
Well,
balls
the
of
play
steel.
before that,
Oh, the big
the play
scramble.
before
Yeah.
that, where he scrambled and dove and almost got the first down there.
But that 4th and 1, and they actually I thought they were just trying to draw him off. So they hiked the ball. Yeah, and I was like, they threw the motherfucker.
With Chad Henne.
With Chad Henne.
First of all, Chad Henne's got to be 100.
Yeah, no, I think he's my age. I don't know what the hell he's doing out there.
I,
What you gonna say, Bill?
I was going to say for about 20 to 30 minutes last weekend, I became a very hardcore Browns fan.
Yeah,
I was wanting them to pull that out real bad.
Wow.
a lot of controversy too on that. With the Browns almost scored a touchdown,
Yeah,
and it
they're
looked
reaching
more
the
like
ball
targeting.
out,
Yeah,
yeah.
a lot of controversy on that one. But Kansas City Chiefs are going to move on, and they are going to play the Buffalo Bills because they finished off the Ravens 17-3.
Which should have been a better game. I'll be
Yeah, that
honest.
game was kind of a turd
Justin
sandwich.
Tucker didn't even show up for that game.
Yeah, Ravens missed 2 shanked field goals on that one, so they still
Yeah.
lose. They would still lose.
Buffalo
9-17.
missed one, I want to say. Didn't Buffalo miss
Yeah,
one?
they
BB?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of missed field goals in the windy Buffalo wind. But Buffalo looked okay. But, I mean, Ravens defense is pretty solid. So you're not going to just trounce the Ravens defense like that. But so the big setup is this week, the one everyone's waiting for. Number 1 versus number 2, Buffalo Bills versus Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go to Bill because it's his squad. What do you think, Bill?
All right, so I don't know because the thing is
Urban
I
Meyer gonna be there?
want to stand up for my squad, but if Mahomes is right and he's playing, the Bills probably don't have enough to win this game. I can't pick them. I mean, not with my brain can't pick them. I'd love to pick them just based on homerdom, but that's not what I do. So I think unless Mahomes for some reason doesn't play, if he does play, then I think the Bills win the game. But assuming Mahomes plays, I'm thinking we're probably looking at like a 37-31 kind of game.
Wow.
And Chiefs probably go to the Super Bowl.
35-20 Chiefs. That fucking weird little Spaniano, whatever the hell the defensive coordinator is, going to blitz the shit out of the Bills.
Yeah.
And it's 35-20.
Yeah, it's gonna be a massacre. If the only thing you can hope for is that he's in the protocol, BV, because if he's not in the protocol, you guys are screwed. Is what it boils down to. But I gotta tell you, this is setting up for what could be a great Super Bowl. Can we just acknowledge the fact that Patty Mahomes with Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl sounds amazing? Just so we're all on the same page. But anyway, I don't want to preview that. But anyway.
Yeah, and Charles is leading to the NFC, where the Rams lose 18-32 to said Packers. This was not an exciting game.
Nope.
This game was bad. The Packers kind of ran it and just controlled it. It was never close. Anybody have any thoughts on this game?
BV?
The Rams are not ever going to contend again unless they get a real offense.
Our offense, does that mean quarterback too, or?
Oh, I think that means primarily quarterback. I think they're a two or maybe like a 2 levels higher quarterback away from being serious Super Bowl contenders.
Solid defense, but Aaron, did anyone else see Aaron Donald crying?
Yeah, I did at the end of the game. Yeah, that's pretty.
It means a lot to
Yeah.
him. You got to respect that.
Yeah, whatever.
And then the game that everybody wanted, and this game was not good
Yeah,
either.
let's say this was a very good game.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers win 30-20 over the Saints, thanking Tampa Bay's defense and Drew Brees.
Drew Brees
who
falling
like
apart.
to throw it to the
Yes.
Tampa Bay defense.
Yeah.
But don't let anyone tell you, it was Tom Brady that won that game.
Drew Brees went out on his back.
Yeah, that was terrible. He took one on his back like Mick Foley.
Yeah.
But that's what it annoys me more than anything. Is everyone's, it was Tom Brady, Tom Brady. No, it was the Tampa Bay defense, and Drew Brees decided he
Brees
played
fell
for Tampa
apart,
Bay.
yeah.
It had nothing to do with Tom Brady. But
Then again, he apparently had a torn rotator cuff or whatever that was going on.
Who
Did you guys? Drew Brees apparently played the most of the season with a torn rotator cuff. You see his wife came out and said that?
oh, he's got to retire.
He's done, isn't he? I mean, that's all.
Well, he left it
I
up.
don't
in the
think
air.
he's formally retired yet, but
Yeah,
Phillip Rivers did.
Yeah, Brees can't be far behind. Anyone got thoughts on this game?
I got nothing. BV, you got anything? 'Cause I don't
there's
know.
not much to say.
This guy was talking to Tom Brady. It had nothing to do with Tom Brady's defense
Ah.
and turnovers.
Get off his dick. For real. Just seriously, it's been over 20 years. Just get off his dick already, please.
Michigan fans hated him. But anyways,
Yeah.
AFC Championship Game is all set. I don't know which one's the late game, which one's the early game.
Drew Henson's better.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay. Is anyone taking Tampa Bay?
Not me. I don't know that much. I don't know. BB, you got it. They're going to struggle
That's
with the
a-
weather.
That's a resounding no.
Now, Tampa Bay did beat Green Bay earlier in the year in Tampa Bay.
And New Orleans beat Tampa Bay twice earlier this year.
So
In
There is a
both
little-
Tampa Bay and New Orleans.
a
So,
little intrigue there, I guess you could say.
I'm not buying into it. I can't wait for that Super Bowl, though. That Super Bowl is going to be great.
Yeah, that should be a good one.
Yeah.
I like Green
We all
Bay.
got to take 100 on that, too. What are we doing for that?
I like 42-17 Green Bay.
Yeah.
wow.
I don't like
Damn.
screw Tom Brady and the Bucks. Even though I do like their coach, I like Bruce Arians. I do, but
Pittsburgh lineage.
screw them.
28-10, Green Bay. I don't think it's going to be that big of a mollywop. BB.
Yeah, I'm thinking like 31-20.
So that's going to set up Green Bay and the Chiefs. But don't listen to us. We've been wrong on multiple occasions. So speaking of which, Bill, why don't you tell us about your pick of the week?
Speaking of which,
But you
got
did
with
win it.
That's right. So last week's lock of the week was the game we just talked about, the Packers giving we talked about it before this last game, but Packers at home giving 6.5 to the Rams. Packers, of course, as you mentioned a few minutes ago, won 32-18. So I get the W. Needed that one. That puts me at 9-11-1 for the year.
Oh, almost 500. You're getting
Yeah, my cash position overall is negative 28-20. But with two more games, well, I guess with a $100 bet on the Super Bowl, it's a little bit different. But if we were going on the $10 structure, I don't have a chance to actually break even, but I can get kind of close. So this week, and I'm sure this can't be a surprise to anybody after the conversation we just had, I'm going to the well once again, and my pick is the Packers, laying 3.5 at home against Tampa Bay. I like that the number on this is a little more favorable. It's only a negative 103, so they're putting up the 10 to win 1980. So very close to a full double up there. I don't expect the game to be remotely that close. Hoping not to get fucked again. And I'm pretty sure that based upon our conversations, you guys are going to have some agreement with me there.
Yeah.
But we'll go on.
What do you got, Steve? What's your percent?
I'm 90%. Makes me a little nervous that the point spread's only 3.5. Why is it?
Because
so
no one
close?
wants to bury Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That's
Well, why is the team
cachet.
still only -3?
Yeah.
So
I got like a 90% too. I think it's really good. I am looking forward to that Super Bowl. Man, that's going to be a good ass Super Bowl. Old guard, new guard, both teams playing really top notch. As long as Mahomes' brain is not scrambled, it's going to be great. God, it's going to be a good game.
we should live stream that or something.
What's that?
The Super Bowl.
I don't want to work during the Super Bowl. I want to watch.
Bill's like, well,
I got to go over here flipping cameras, doing all this shit. I'm going to sit my ass down and watch some football.
I'm just talking about where we all watch it together now. I don't care about what it's on.
Yeah, that's fine by me. I don't give a shit about that. We got to go downtown and place our bets, Steve. We got to go down there.
Man, downtown.
Yeah. I haven't seen that. Have you seen the new sports books and all that shit yet? Yeah, we should make a venture down there.
I've not been down there yet.
We try to avoid all the COVID. We're like, yeah, don't touch anyone.
All right, so that's our look at NFL for the week. Not much left.
We're running out.
Running out quickly. So we do have some new shows and movies for the month of January. And I really had to scrounge some of this up. It wasn't easy. But first up is Snowpiercer. I don't know if you remember the movie. This scarred Chris
Chris
I
Evans,
did see the
right?
movie. I
Yeah.
have never seen the series.
Somebody who had a train, right?
Yeah, so all of humanity is on this giant train that goes around the Earth because the Earth is frozen from some new ice age. The guy, Ned Stark's in this. I can't think of the what is his real Sean Bean?
Yeah, that sounds right.
He's the villain of this season. I'd never watched the first season. Snowpiercer Series 2, they call it Season 2, on Netflix and TBS. Bill, you watching Snowpiercer?
Well, surprisingly, probably to you, I did see the movie, but I don't even know. I didn't see the first season. I didn't realize there was a series, but yeah, I probably won't. But if I flipped past it and saw it, I'd stop and watch it.
Charles?
No. I haven't watched the movie. I haven't watched the show. I know that it's got a huge following, but not for some reason. I just never got into it. Never watched it.
Yeah. I'm a no as well. I thought the movie was okay at best, but whatever. Next is Disenchantment Part 3, which means Season 3. This is that one from the guy who made The Simpsons.
Matt Groening did this. And
I watched the first season and about half the second, so I'm done. So I'm a no. Charles, what do you think?
This is terrible. I've fallen off The Simpsons. I think that the Family Guy changed The Simpsons in a way that's not good. The Simpsons hasn't been The Simpsons of our youth in a long time. This is really bad. I hated it. I watched the first episode or two. I was like, this is awful. So I'm a no.
Bill?
I was a what, but after hearing Charles, I mean, I was already kind of probably inclined to no, so I'm really no now.
Yeah, terrible.
Next up on Apple TV, this is Season 2 of Dickinson. This is a show about Emily Dickinson. Bill? I'm a no, Bill.
No Apple TV, no.
My wife watched it, loves it.
Oh,
they got modern music in it. She's all about it. It is a Heather show to a T. This is terrible. I'm a no.
Next up is a movie that's coming to HBO Max on January 29th. The Little Things.
Oh, yeah. It's
This
Rami
is Denzel
Malek.
Washington,
Yeah.
Rami Malek, and Jared Leto. It's basically a murder mystery.
Yeah.
And Denzel Washington's either a retired cop or about to retire and trying to solve the mystery. I'm all in. I like all three of those actors, so I'm a yes. Bill?
Sounds okay, but I probably won't get around to it. So, no.
Busy man.
It's on HBO Max. I'm going to watch it. Yeah, the all-star cast like Jared Leto and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Yeah. I'm
Look,
all in.
he's putting his ultimate creepy on, too. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've seen the trailer. But
Yeah,
Jared
it
Leto
looks
looks
good,
creepy.
man. It
this
looks
is
like
a
a
big-
movie that should be on the theater for sure.
Well, it was going to be.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
that's
is a
what I'm
big
saying.
budget movie.
Yeah, it's great.
Next up, Pixar Popcorn. This is all the little shorts that Pixar ever had. Going to be in a series. I'll watch it for Steve's Animation Corner, so I'm a yes on Pixar Popcorn.
Review forthcoming.
Yeah, BB?
This is kind of outside my bailiwick, so no.
I got rid of Disney Plus and do not regret it. I'm a no.
Oh, you don't want to watch that great WandaVision? Next up, this is a video game, Hitman 3.
Getting huge reviews. 9s and 10s
I
everywhere.
should like the Hitman series better than I do.
So slow.
I played the first one and then half of the second one, and I just got
It's
bored.
the boring parts of Metal Gear games.
Yeah, so I'm a no on Hitman 3. Bill?
Yeah, no.
And like Steve said, it should check boxes, but it's just bad. I don't know. I don't want to sit there and kill people with piano wire. It's got a VR mode too, which might even interest me and Steve, but still I'm a no. It's not going to do it.
It's so slow, so boring. So there you go. That's what's new in January. Not much, but now I want to tell everyone out there, though, if you get a chance, look up the trailer, and it's on our Facebook page, Willy's Wonderland. This is a B movie with Nicolas Cage, and he spends the night in like a demonic Chuck E. Cheese, and he's fighting, and it looks hilarious. I don't know why it looks hilarious. It looks like the same thing as the Fat Man kind of like thing, where it's like this cult weird movie. I saw it the other day. Anyways, so now let's go on to a review. I went this past weekend to the local Greenfield Village, and they had actually on my Facebook you can see some pictures from it. The Marvel exhibit at Greenfield Village. Now, every once in a while, or Henry Ford Museum, I guess you could say, they have new exhibits. They had a James Bond one. They had a Pixar one. I've seen the Pixar one, and now I've seen this Marvel one. It's different. It costs more on top. You can't just go to Henry Ford Museum and then see this. You have to pay additional money.
Extra
on top
money.
of it. Yeah, so.
Which seems kind of pricey as shit to me.
Kind of, yeah. So my father-in-law is a member, so we got the tickets for $10,
which is expensive. An annual membership to Greenfield Village is no joke.
Yeah, he buys it every year because he thinks Holly's gonna go with him.
It's like a couple $100 for family, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's not cheap.
I bought them for my parents one year. It's not cheap at all.
Yeah, it's crazy expensive.
But if you don't have the membership, you got to pay $35 a ticket to see this. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, the stuff in it was cool. They had a lot of movie props, a lot of costumes. They had 3 full-size Iron Man suits lit up and stuff, so you can see that. Some statues.
Were they screen used and stuff like that?
It seemed like it, yeah.
How tall is Robert Downey? Was he kind of a short guy? Or
the suits were the same height as me. So.
Okay, so
but that's
that's with lifts.
When they shot the movie, he didn't wear those suits.
Oh.
He just wore like a chest piece, and they CG'd the rest for him.
Oh.
These suits were made just to be in the background of the movies and stuff like that. I tell you who's tiny. They had the full-size Spider-Man from Tom Holland suit. That suit, a tiny little man who was in that suit. So Tom Holland's a tiny guy.
Like a good exhibit then.
Yeah, but it's only maybe take you 25, 30 minutes to get to the whole thing.
Wow.
It's
$35, dude.
Yeah, so,
wow.
It's interesting. Like I said, some cool movie props.
How much of it did your father-in-law read as we discussed?
Oh, I sat on a bench waiting for him for a while. He was... Him and
Does
Michelle
he watch the Marvel movies?
Yeah, here and there.
Does your father-in-law watch movies like that?
Sometimes, not a lot. He has no idea what's going on. Just a lot of stuff flying around.
Banging around.
Yeah. But he did read comics as a kid.
Oh, okay.
Didn't buy them. He read them. He went to the local library, and then he swapped with friends. So he knows, he's aware of the characters.
So he knows the lore and things?
Yeah, some of it, yeah. So
seems steep for $35, though.
Yeah, it's a little price. $10 a person, I think it's well worth
on top of your $100,
$10 a person without the membership would be.
Yeah.
$35 seems a little high. You're paying that Marvel tax, I think, there. I know Carrie and her son went to it, right?
I think so, yeah.
So they paid the $35. I highly doubt.
I don't think they got the membership. Yeah.
So it's neat. And you see a little video showing the history of Marvel for 5 minutes beforehand. They're very. They keep you separated quite a bit because of COVID. So you gotta. They schedule
pace
times.
you in, yeah.
So we were like at 10 a.m. Next group is at 10:15, stuff like that. So they're pretty good about that. Real weird. I don't know when the last time you've been to Henry Ford. So usually you walk in the big doors. There's a ticket booth there, and then usually the exhibits are you just turn on
the one way. Yeah.
Now you have to walk all the way down to the middle, cut in, and then you go to one ticket booth, then another ticket booth, then you go over to the Marvel and show them your tickets.
Jesus.
3 different ticket booths for this. I was like, wow, what a pain in the ass. So if the price was reduced, I would say take the family, but at $35 a person,
that's steep, man.
You got to be a diehard Marvel
and you might as well
fan.
read all the placards at $35 a pop.
You might you want to steal a couple movie props right there, but they're all behind glass. So there you go, Greenfield Village, the Marvel exhibit. And Charles,
and you're saying wait, it's only about 35 minutes to walk through the whole thing?
Yeah, me and Holly, and we took pictures. I took pictures. There's a VR Iron Man thing. It's kind of neat. They're using an Xbox Kinect.
Oh, okay.
You go like this. It puts the Iron Man suit on her. She flies around. It's about 2 minutes long.
Oh, geez.
But I don't see how anyone would take more than a half hour to get through.
Wow.
I mean, my father-in-law still only took about 35 minutes, and he read everything. So, I mean, because there wasn't a lot. It was only like one little.
That just seems crazy.
Yeah, so a little overpriced. Charles, what's happening in the UFC?
Yeah, so still leading up to the big UFC 257 this Saturday from Fight Island. I put in here the embeddeds are starting to show up. Definitely check those out on YouTube. You don't need any member or subscriptions, rather, to check those out. They already had the first 2 parts of that, following McGregor, following Dustin Poirier as they fall asleep. Sorry to bore you. as they adventure into Fight Island and leading up to the UFC 257. They had a UFC fight on ABC this past weekend. I didn't watch it because football was on, but nonetheless, I think that they're slowly feeling some of that pinch from what they're kind of pricing people out of. Plus, ABC probably could just use the content or something like that. But it was a good fight. Max Holloway got a decision, beat the brakes off Calvin Kattar. I mean, I was looking at some of the reports. Dude, it was hamburger at the end of this one. It was pretty crazy. For a little guy, they definitely threw hands. So that was pretty good. Also, Carlos Condit got a decision over Matt Brown, which is Carlos Condit's a pretty good name in the league and stuff like that. So a decent fight card for being on ABC for free is pretty good. Steve put on here about Conor McGregor got the god-awfulest watch you'd ever see. Did you see that at all, BB? Like, did you see the Conor McGregor watch?
Yeah, no, actually, when I pulled it up, I got it on behind me.
Yeah.
Did you see it in action?
Yeah, it's a crazy
No, I didn't.
looking
I saw
timepiece.
pictures of it. I didn't see it in action.
Yeah.
On Twitter, he put a little video where you could see it unedited.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't have Twitter, so
It's just two animatronic little characters hitting a doggy over and over again. I was like, why does anyone need
that
that?
explains the sex watch.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah.
So,
$2 million for that?
yeah, he's
He's gonna be broke 10 minutes after retirement.
dude, I'm telling you, man.
That's an MC Hammer in the
You gotta
making.
you gotta sell a lot of Irish whiskey to keep
Yeah.
up with this guy.
He's
so.
gonna be fighting till he's 65.
Yeah. So anyway, he's living on a boat over there too. He's not even staying in like a hotel or nothing like that. He's on a boat. Like they docked a yacht that he's living on.
Oh, jeez.
Crazy. So anyway, leading up to the big fight this Saturday should be pretty good. I like Conor McGregor in that fight. I don't think that Dustin Poirier has done enough to really change his game, and Conor McGregor is so heavy-handed. I think he's going to put it on him, but I think it's going to go deeper than the first. The first fight went a round and a half. I think this one's going to go a little deeper, probably about by round 3. He will succumb to strikes. Is what I think is going to happen. Will be my opinion.
So quick question for you on that, because one thing I wonder, and they talk about this a lot with boxers, but I don't know so much about UFC guys. With as infrequently as McGregor fights, is there any concern at some point about, I don't know, cage rust or?
I'm sure, but you got to think he fought at the beginning of last year, so it's not like he's that far out. And he's such a crazy person with the way that he trains, and he stays in ready shape. So
Yeah, and he fights old guys at bars.
yeah, he's always thumping on people there.
So
Yeah,
he's-
no, I don't think that's necessarily the case. I was just kind of curious.
I
as to
think
whether or
you're
not
gonna,
people
like-
look at that way.
I am sure they would, but I think that the problem is in this fight. I don't think that they've already fought before, and Poirier just didn't have the power to meet McGregor. McGregor's so heavy-handed. And I don't think that Poirier's done enough to change his abilities or like schemes to really keep up with him. That's why I think he'll go a little deeper, but I don't think it's going to be a different result. Would be my 2 cents. So,
What's the guy's name? Poirier?
Dustin Poirier. He's like
Poirier.
a big Louisiana guy. That's
what
why
he needs to do is fix that fucking ear. It's gross.
See, he's not down with the funky cauliflower.
Drain that ass ear.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's a big. We talked about it before. It's like a big, mark a scar, a big scar. So I don't know. It could be good. It's just the UFC priced me out, man. I'm getting my cheap bones coming in on that one. I'm just like, dude, I can't. This is crazy.
I keep having inner turmoil with myself if I want to get the network for a month just to see Royal Rumble or not.
yeah.
Like, do I want to do it? Do
Yeah.
I not want to do
I'm
it?
toying with that bare knuckle, jumping back into that bare knuckle too. $4. I'm like, yeah, because I want to see Paige Van Zandt fight, and she's supposed to fight this month and stuff. I'm like, ugh. I just can't. I can't subscribe to 78 services, man. I can't do
It's
it.
a little much.
I
got AMC right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Jesus
it's just
Christ.
it's too much. Like, I'm trying to use some kind of constraint or some kind of restraint or whatever, and trying to just not, because you'll have 78 services if they want it their way, and I gotta fight back. I don't know how else to describe it.
Like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I had to subscribe to PlayStation Plus so that we could play Fall Guys.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, so I went online and got a 12 months card, a digital code for a 12-month card for $35. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Well, it's illegal Russian
Yeah, I
key
don't give a
sites.
shit.
I go there all
You
the time.
can't play PlayStation Online for free anymore?
No, you haven't
Yeah.
been able to do that since PS2.
It's been a while, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's just annoying, and like they just all these services, I can't do it, man. My cheekbone, I'm just I'll buy all kinds of ring stuff, and like when it comes, I'm like, no, like, dude, I'm just too
It's all
cheap.
principle. out of
Yeah,
it,
I
that
think it
point.
is.
It's like, screw you people. All right, so let's go to the news. Got a little bit here today. Google, my friend at home, Google, has bought Fitbit.
Speaking of which, I got those other devices. Make sure you take them home with you.
Okay. Google bought Fitbit for $2 billion.
Got my Charge 3 on right now. You got yours on? Yeah. What do you got? A
I
Sense?
don't know what this is. Does it tell me?
Is a Versa?
I think it's a Versa.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
I like the Fitbit products. The nice part about the Fitbit products for me is that the batteries last forever because they don't do a lot, which is good because I don't want it to do a ton. I don't need like a full-fledged Apple Watch. I just need it to maybe say, hey, look, you got a text message or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they seem to be pretty accurate and they work really good. So I like the Fitbit products.
Yeah. So now Google has
That is
them.
until Google kills them off.
Yeah,
as
that's
Steve
what-
will say.
That's what everyone was saying in the comments. Oh, all they're going to do is bleed it dry. So much for my Fitbit. Oh, that'll just go
We
get
got
you
a
an Apple
couple.
Watch.
So Heather's got the Sense, and then we have an Aria scale, like
My
their
thing
Fitbit
is,
scale.
Fitbit's the only one that's reasonably priced. Like Apple Watch is
Yeah.
like $300-$400.
Yeah, it's $100. Yeah.
Yeah, all the rest, all smartwatches are ridiculously overpriced.
Yeah.
So
What'd you pay for yours? About 120 or something like
Yeah,
that?
well, I don't know. Michelle had Kohl's cat. It was,
Oh, Jesus.
Kohl's.
Cash-
Ironically, Kohl's sells a lot of Fitbits.
Yeah.
They know all those middle-aged women want to buy Fitbits, so they say. And my wife's always got 37. I don't know how Kohl's stays in business. They have so many coupons.
I don't think
and
you
so
realize how
stuff.
much shit your wife's buying
Yeah,
at Kohl's,
well,
though. That's the
that
fun
too.
part.
Well,
You're
she-
like, she really gets over on Kohl's. Does she? Does she,
Yeah,
Steve? I
don't
mean,
know.
is that what she's telling you?
I don't know, but
Hopefully she's listening because I'm calling her out because it's bullshit right now. Like you
Well,
don't
I
get
mean,
stacks of
she
Kohl's
spends
bucks.
$14,000. We get like $35 off. So
Exactly.
I
Get that
don't know.
Fitbit really cheap. You really got 80 bags in your basement.
So my wife needed 37 hoodies. All right,
Yeah,
what is
yeah.
your problem?
Congratulations to all those 18 pairs of Skechers. You didn't get those for free.
I think we might have got $1 or $2 off.
But to the point, we've at this point, me and Steve have reviewed a ton of Fitbit products on the show. I
Mm-hmm.
like the minimalistness of them. I like a Fitbit. I don't know how else
Yeah,
to
they're
describe
fine.
it. The nice part is, and we talk about a lot of the smart home stuff, and that's why I'm giving Steve a lot of my Google stuff. Fitbit seems to work with everything, which is nice, and that's
like Apple Watch won't work with Android.
yeah, a lot of like closed off ecosystem shit. That's why I had to get rid of my Nest Protect smoke detectors. It wouldn't integrate with any of my stuff in my house. Like, you have all the Google stuff, so it'll probably integrate at your house. That's one of the smart thing or the smart home things that no one talks about. Is like if you can get all, you got to look before you buy things to make sure they'll kind of work with your stuff. They don't. A lot of stuff doesn't work together and drives you nuts. But Fitbit, at least for now, works with everything, which is kind of nice.
Until Google rigs it so it only works with Android.
It's like, God damn it, man.
So next up, Chris Pratt. You familiar with him?
Well, the world hates him, but me and you like him.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he made a movie recently called Future War. I know the synopsis for this movie. Basically,
What do you got?
old military heroes like Patton and stuff like that are reincarnated to fight a war in the future. So it's a weird sci-fi thing. And they sold the movie to Amazon for $200 million. So now coming in America too. That the movie I just watched one night in Miami, and now this one and Borat. Amazon's been buying movies left and right, so they.
But
bought
then
this
again,
one.
that's because Netflix has got a slew of movies coming out, and it's kind of annoying. Heather and I talked about this too. We like Netflix TV shows. We're weird like that. Me and Steve talk about it all the time. Steve's more of a movie guy. I'm a TV show guy a lot of times. Netflix doesn't have a lot of TV shows coming out, but they've got a ton of these movies that they're all about. Like, we got this movie. So it sounds like Amazon's trying to combat that a lot, is what I think is happening. But
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, I like about 4 Netflix movies.
wow.
I'm trying to think.
I like a lot more than 4 Netflix shows.
Really?
Peaky Blinders, The Crown. I have to look at my queue. I'm sure there's more. British Baking Show is one of them too. I can keep going. I'm sure there's more than that. I just can't think of it. That Afterlife with Ricky Gervais, and I like Netflix shows.
Oh, I mean, they're still making the shows.
I know. Well, and again,
How
my
many
inner
shows?
cheapness is creeping in on that Netflix. I'm looking at you, Netflix.
200 million subscribers. They just announced.
I don't care. You're about to lose one shortly if you don't come with some contento.
We
Right?
got to upthink. Charles gonna bail.
Yeah, dude. I'm just telling you. Like HBO Max right now is doing really well for me. I started watching. It holds up, people. Started watching my Batman the
I was
Animated
watching it, too.
series. Yeah, it's good still.
I was
Like, this
watching
is
the show.
still good to me.
That first one with Catwoman I was watching the other
Yeah,
night.
it's super good. And then I've been watching that Discovery Plus. I've been kind of backlogging. I was watching a lot of Bert the Conqueror stuff. So
So now next up, WrestleMania 37, which is this year's WrestleMania.
why do you have it on here for 2 nights?
It's going to be a 2-nighter again.
Oh God.
They're going to put people in Raymond James Stadium, but they're going to socially distance. So you can buy tickets for the first night, and then they can bring in the next.
They're making
batch.
like WrestleMania like a festival?
Yeah, basically is what they're doing.
Jeez.
And then the second night, you can buy tickets again. So you figure half the stadium's full the first night, half the stadium. So they're gonna, it'll sell out technically. It'll take 2 days.
You and BV, what is your guys' opinion on this 2-night extravaganza?
Terrible.
Oh my God.
I don't know what Bill's thoughts are, but
I agree.
it's too
Terrible.
much.
It's just because you can get 6 hours of crap doesn't mean it's any good. Give me
There's
2
a-
hours of good content.
There's a big in Japan. God, why do I know this? I think it's called Wrestle Kingdom or something like that. They started this years ago. It's like their WrestleMania for New Japan Pro Wrestling and all the local. And it's a 2-day event every year. And Kenny Omega was a big part of it for a couple times. So it would basically the same thing.
They're
It's
turning it into an Indian wedding. Is that what we're dealing with here?
Yeah,
Is it
I
gonna-
guess so. So I guess Vince McMahon realized that he could stretch this out for 2 days, make more money, so he's going to do it as well.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, even without WrestleMania, how much money do you need? Even traditionally, the WrestleMania is 3-4 hours, and then they also had like the wrestling experience and stuff that you can go to on Friday and Saturday, but that wasn't televised.
I thought it
just
was
stuff
always
you
the
could do
night
there.
before was the NXT night.
Yeah, the NXT, yep, but apparently not. Now NXT would probably air Friday,
Jeez.
and WrestleMania would be Saturday and Sunday, if I had to guess.
How much is the network now for you two?
$10.
$10.
I don't have the network, so
I don't either.
Oh, okay.
I should canned it. That's why I'm debating if I want it for the Rumble
I mean,
or not.
$10 instead of just get it for a month. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
get you.
I'm debating still. I really hate that. I mean, the digital crowd thing was a clever idea, but
What's the digital crowd thing?
so on Raw and SmackDown, they don't really tour now. They stay in the same building, and the crowd is all just panels of people watching online at home.
Oh.
So
So is it
they-
like the NBA type thing?
yeah, but it's a little better because it's all the way around them.
Okay.
The NBA one was weird. I didn't understand the NBA one, but yeah, and allegedly you can interact and stuff with that. It was kind of cool at first, but then it's like it's still wrestling without any kind of sound or any kind of crowd, so it's kind of terrible.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Next up, also the Peacock service, another service Charles is going to sign up for next week.
No.
New Saved by the Bell. The show is being renewed for season 2. It must have been a hit on the Peacock, but I can tell you who's not going to be in it. Dustin Diamond. He's got stage 4 cancer.
Yeah, he's dying, right?
Yeah, so he probably won't be in it. But I guess it was a hit for them, so they're going to go with the second season of the new Saved by the Bell. Any thoughts on that?
No. I don't want to watch this. I don't
Yeah,
know.
who is this appealing to?
I don't know. Is Howie into it at all?
No, she would
No?
give 2 shits about
I
it.
got nothing.
So
know.
I don't think kids like it. I mean,
Someone must be.
it's
That
got
is
to be a
stuff-
handful of people
I'll
our
tell you
age.
this. And speaking of, I've been into again working in alternate shifts at the hotel. I've had to go into a handful of guest rooms when they're occupied, and I've been into no less than 3 rooms that were all watching Cobra Kai. So that show has got to be popular as shit. on
Well, even
Netflix.
Smoochie's parents watch Cobra Kai.
Yeah, so I'm telling you right now, that show is a massive success for Netflix off of the YouTube thing.
Which is
They've
ironic.
advertised enough of it and everything, and you are super lukewarm on it. But I'm telling you, within
Well, I
the
know
past
it's really
few
popular,
weeks,
yeah.
it's got a huge resurgence.
The nostalgia things are starting to wear off, and I'm like, this is just a shitty CW show. That's all this is. Yeah.
BB, have you watched anything this week, or you just been so busy with work? You sound like you've been extra busy.
Well, I did manage to catch up on I saw the first episode of the Tiger documentary.
Oh yeah, I finished that up. Yeah,
I haven't seen the second one yet. Is it just 2 parts?
it's
or?
2 parts. 2 parts. I
Okay,
forgot
yeah,
to
I
talk
haven't
about
seen-
that. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I have not seen part 2 yet, but
What are you
part
thinking?
1, oh, it's really good. It does it, and I don't think it's necessarily connected, but a lot of the stuff that a great deal of the stuff that they're bringing out are things that I read in that biography.
No, they
Armin-
said on,
But it's
they said
really
on the
interesting
radio
that
it's
they have-
based on that book.
The Armin Katayan book,
Oh,
because
okay,
he's
yeah.
a commentator in it. After BV brought that to my attention in the second episode,
Oh, okay.
he's a commentator. He's a talking
Yeah.
head on the show.
Now, what they didn't really have in the book, and what I think kind of brings it to life is, I mean, they went back. I can't remember her name, Dina Hall.
Perrin or something.
Dina, so yeah, his first
girlfriend,
serious
yeah.
girlfriend when he was in Stanford. And dude, first of all, you talk about someone who's a little salty about that, but
Yeah,
she's still. Yeah, she's still.
had the
you can
letter.
tell she's
She
still
had
affected
it.
by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kept the letter where he
Yeah.
just like cut her off out of nowhere.
yeah.
Who does that?
Um,
How many years ago?
Jennifer Johnson.
How many years ago was that?
I don't know. It's
Oh,
gotta
that
be
was
a
like
lot.
1990.
2. Yeah,
Seven.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
7.
He's your guys'
24
age.
24
Yeah,
years
he's
ago.
our
he wrote
age.
this.
Yeah.
She kept a letter from an ex-boyfriend for 24
You got to
years.
understand. I'll be honest with you, though. Let me play devil's advocate. Tiger Woods was a hugely successful golfer, well ahead of that. So she probably was thinking money train
Maybe. Yeah.
and was like, let me hold
But
on.
there's a
to
lot of
this.
girls who are with guys.
I know there's some creepy chicks. I'm not going to deny that. But I think in this scenario, it's the Bill Clinton thing is what I think is going on there.
Oh man.
She, to BV's point, she's also a little salty in the interview. She's a little, can you imagine? Because like his parents essentially told him to break it off. He came home early, and his parents were basically. But the second episode is all the adultery stuff and all that. God, and again, it didn't hit as hard for me because Jordan was involved in the Jordan documentary, and that's what I think made. And the best part was I felt like in that Jordan documentary, he also didn't shy away from it all. He's like, "Yeah, I was a dick. What do you want me to tell you? I'm a competitor. What do you want me to tell you?"
You're never gonna get that from Tiger.
Yeah, never in a million years. But it stays good, BB. If you were intrigued by that first episode, you're gonna like the second one, and in fact, a little bit more because it dives into some pretty hardy shit.
Nice.
I took a hearty shit once.
Hey, I've got one piece of news for you. I don't know
Okay.
if you've heard this yet or not. I was kind of poking around on ESPN, so since you had to make cracks at me earlier, here's a headline: Notre Dame football placed on
that's
probation
nice.
for 1 year over recruiting violation. Now,
I
it's-
told you I
in
wanted to cheat
fairness-
better, not worse.
in fairness, it's not like a real punitive probation. There's no postseason ban. It's like there's a fine. Remember, this is back, I think, from their championship team in '87. Was a cornerback, Todd Light. He played in the NFL for a while too.
Oh
Isn't
yeah,
that
Todd.
BB?
He was apparently one of the recruiter involved, and this linebacker from Seattle, and he was involved in similar infraction cases last year that involved Dan Mullen from Florida and Charles's boy Jimbo at A&M, and they got
Yeah.
similar. Yeah, so the same guy, same kid. But so they've got like they reduced official visits for a year. They've got reduced unofficial visits, and then they can't recruit any prospects from the high school in Seattle for a few years. I mean, it was these real minor, infractions, but just since you had to drop your Alabama hateration at me a little
I've
earlier.
already said I want them to cheat better, not worse.
Well,
They're cheating worse.
Apparently, they got a ways to go. So
Alabama knows how to cheat better.
Oh, man. BV, you got any rants this week? Go on a rant, BV.
I don't think I really have anything.
Oh,
I got to
man.
rant. Why is 30 Rock?
The show, Tina Fey show?
Yeah, that is like the Chargers of TV. That is the most
Who's
overrated.
talking
piece.
about 30
It's
Rock?
not good.
It's not good at all. That
Who is
show's
talking
terrible.
about that right now?
Because that show, The
a
Mayor,
good
came
point.
out. I don't know if you've seen
Yeah,
that.
it's a Ted Danson show.
No, that show was originally for Alec Baldwin's character from 30 Rock. But for some reason, Alec Baldwin was busy or something,
Oh.
turned the show down. So they had to rewrite it real quick and make it dead. So
Keep-
that
keep
character
it
from
tuned
30
up,
Rock was supposed to become the mayor of like New York or something,
Oh.
and then they're supposed to cover him there. And I started thinking, I was like, who liked 30 Rock? It was
I
out
like
a
the
long
Tracy
time.
Morgan character on 30 Rock.
There was moments like Tracy. Oh, the other thing I was going to tell you, I've been
Oh, geez.
watching. Have you seen it? Name That Tune.
No,
Oh,
I
was
didn't
just
know
gonna say
other.
it too.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen it.
That girl that hosts it is from 30
is
Rock.
it?
Jane-
It's the
Jane
blonde from 30 Rock.
Jane
or something.
Krakowski. Or
Worst fucking
Yeah.
host I've ever heard in my
Oh,
life.
yeah.
Not,
she's
not
terrible.
just that, but
She's
gotta
in that
be,
Dickinson show too.
Oh.
She's got to be what, like in her 50s,
And she puts the titties out on display.
and she
Oh, yeah.
she is desperately trying to get someone to look at her cans.
Yeah.
Did you see that thing last night when
Randy
she went up
Jackson
to that
has
dude at the end
cancer.
and basically was like,
Randy
I thought she
Jackson,
was
the
gonna-
old Idol guy.
Yeah, he's the main guy, the head of the music.
Oh,
Yeah,
He's
Randy
lost so
Jackson.
much weight. He literally looks like he has cancer. He looks
basically just-
super
He hits the
weird.
notes. He
What?
hits the notes on the piano.
And then they got like a.
He looks.
They got,
How
like,
dare he get healthy?
they got like this weird.
See, fill in. You're looking deflated.
He looks. Does Bill? Am I wrong? Does Randy Jackson not look weird?
Yeah,
Said a guy rocking a mustache and a double chin. Doesn't he look weird, BB?
He does. Bill knows it. He's like fucking like sickly looking.
Someone's got to pull up a picture of Randy Jackson. BB, make Randy Jackson your background real quick.
Yeah, you haven't seen Randy Jackson.
No, not as easy.
So and then they got this over the top crowd overdub. So you ever seen? So me and you, I can name that song.
that Call Me Cat, the Maya Bialik show Heather was watching.
I heard it's terrible.
It's got the worst canned audience I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, this is so I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, whoa, it's
So,
almost distracting.
There's a part in the show where I'll be like, I can name that tune in 6 notes. And you'll go, I can name that tune in 5
Yeah, I
notes.
know that,
And the
yeah.
crowd will go, ooh. I'm like,
Yeah.
are you serious right now? This
Gives
is
a shit.
terrible.
It's like,
well, you
no.
knew it was canned because when they said I can name that tune in 10 notes, I go, ooh,
It's
10 notes.
It's such an overreaction. It is such a train wreck. It just
So
reminds you of how good of a host Jamie Foxx is. 'cause
yeah.
Yeah.
Shazam is 100 times better. And Michelle got pissed because I started ripping out the show.
Oh.
She's like, I'll watch this without you. Turned it
Oh,
off.
you know what? They
wow.
ruined the show a little bit too, because
Oh, I don't
like
remember.
I used to
fucking
watch
show's
when I was a little
terrible.
kid, watch the original Name That Tune show, and parts of it are kind of cool. But when they get to that whole thing where they bid each other for the point, if you can figure, basically last night to the second group,
Doesn't they
they
give you
just got the
clues
clue
to-
right away,
Yeah,
and they're like, I
yeah.
can do it in one note because they already knew the answer.
Yeah, the
It
clue
kind of
gives
takes
it
the
away.
fun.
Like
Takes
one
the
of the
fun out
clues was Whitney Houston sang this for her bodyguard. How many notes?
Yeah.
She said, I will always love you. Everyone knows that because the goddamn bodyguard movie.
Or like something about gave a
What
symphony.
channel
Bad
is it
taste
on?
in their
It's on
mouth.
Fox.
Yeah.
I don't
But,
know.
um,
It's terrible. And that girl is a terrible host.
So
She's
I was
like-
looking her
she's
up,
reading
right,
the
to see how old
card.
she was,
Yeah.
because
She's probably our age.
she's 52.
Oh.
But the thing is, that like
No,
Susan,
no,
she
call it
is
55.
sticking out those B cups for the world to see.
Yeah.
And but when I looked it up, one of the headlines that showed up here is that apparently she had a secret 9-month romance with
Randy
My
Jackson?
Pillow CEO Mike Lindell.
Oh wow, dude.
Who?
The My Pillow guy. The
My
guy
Pillow
that,
CEO,
he's
the
going
one that's,
down with
hanging
Trump.
out with Trump and
There-
There was an article about Bed Bath & Beyond pulled his pillows. Like, wait, Bed Bath & Beyond's in business? They're out of business. I mean, that's pretty safe to say they were going to pull his pillows. But yeah, just so you know, Michelle, I know you're hearing this because you just ripped. I did say the watch is crap, by the way, Michelle. She's got a comment on here. Name that tune. It's awful. Randy Jackson has cancer. He looks so weird. I don't know. Ooh, that crowd. They're like super into it. I'm like, who's the guy controlling the crowd music? It's terrible. And then she's the worst.
Did you
host.
find a picture of Randy Jackson melting? I need to see it real quick.
Oh my God, it's the worst. But that's my gripe for the week. Maybe that tune is terrible. Please bring back Shazam. I didn't mind Shazam; it was fine. But boy, they're
just redoing all kinds of old TV shows.
Yeah,
man.
it seems
Wow.
it. It's pretty bad. But yeah, I forgot I saw that this week. I was
Name
like,
that too.
Michelle got so offended when I started ripping on it. I was like, it's just so bad. It wasn't good, not at all. But there we go.
almost added here in a second.
Anything else we got for this week?
No, apparently, other than watching Name That Tune when I get off
You gotta watch an episode now. We gotta pull up the Fox, let you see it because I gotta hear your opinion.
the crowd alone.
Here we go.
Yeah, look at him on the right. What is that?
He's really small now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he's got these giant like trifocals on.
Yeah,
too,
he's
so it
got
makes
those
it look
huge
even weirder.
glasses.
Yeah,
He's probably got a lot of excess skin because he was so big too.
Or he just had the surgery to.
Yeah, that's probably 90% right there. Got the stomach.
My
tape on.
600-pound life is back. By the way, I've been watching that.
I watched it.
That show's still good. You watched it too?
I've been watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her
Which one?
450-pound brother thinks he's 200 pounds. Cracks me up
Oh,
all
that's
the
the
time.
1,000-pound sisters. Yeah.
Yeah.
My 600-pound life is the
Oh,
one with
I was talking about the 1,000-pound sisters. Yeah, that fucking brother acts like he's the slimmest dude ever. And he finally decides he's going to go on a diet with
the
the ball.
Slatin sisters, them sodies.
Yeah, get them sodies. All right, until next week, we got some. What do we have next week? We're going to talk about the championship games. Might have maybe Charles and I will do a retro review on all the Batman the Animated Series we're going to watch in the next couple of weeks.
telling you.
Bill's going to let you know how he did on his betting, and then we're maybe going to head next weekend to the casino. If
Yeah,
my
we're
wife
gonna
can go
put
if
that
she quits
money-
watching Name That Tune.
We'll put that money where our mouth is. What we're all gonna do next week. BB's gonna do. We're all gonna do $100 on that Super Bowl.
All right. So, of course, you can catch us on Apple iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube, and FatGuysOnLittlePodcast.com, of course. And then until next week, this is Steve.
And Charles.
We'll catch you next time.